Merry Christmas Eve, everybody. I started this tradition last year when I started my challenge of bringing you guys a long form YouTube video every single day of the year. And it started with on my 40th birthday, October 19th, 2024. I did the greatest hits, the greatest closes of my career. I brought you guys 12 hours of me closing deals, but then it got around to Christmas time. And I was like, what videos am I going to post on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day? And so last year for Christmas Eve, I did my 12 best moments of 2024. So today, what you're going to be receiving is the 12 best moments of 2025. This is a new tradition we're going to be bringing. And listen, on these videos, these aren't live seller calls. These are the YouTube videos I made it. This year, I feel like the video quality improved so much because of us bringing on Jordan Boyle onto the team, where he's edited these videos. He pushed me out of my comfort zone where I made some unique type of videos. So what you're going to see is some stuff that's a little bit different than just a talking head of me sitting here like I am right now. Some of it's going to be me acting. Some of it's going to be me talking about our entrepreneurial journey, some golf analogies. They're my favorite videos from 2025. So as a present to you guys on Christmas Eve, this is my chosen 12 best moments of 2025. Hope you enjoy. Make sure you like the video. We'll see you guys tomorrow on Christmas morning.
The year is 2025, but I want to talk to RJ in 2010. The RJ that is dropping Cassie off at Fred's Cafe so she can bartend. And she looks at me and she says, we should start our own business. Now that RJ was young, dumb, and crazy and was like, yeah, sounds like a great idea. Let's do it. But we knew nothing. We had no idea what was in store for us over the next 15 years. And so I want to share that story so you guys can learn from it. So, RJ, in 2010, when Cassie says you should start your own business, you're going to go home and you're going to come up with this idea called My Bookie's Nightmare. And that's going to be one of the worst ideas that you ever have in those 15 years. However, from there, you do actually come up with some great ideas. But you learned a very valuable lesson. Always listen to Cassie. That was the first time you found that out. From there, you're going to have some opportunities. You're going to become, quote unquote, an entrepreneur. And you're going to start exploring the different ideas and opportunities out there. And you're going to take a chance and you're going to go run a company called Exact Claims that was doing insurance supplements for roofing contractors. Despite the fact that you have no idea what an insurance supplement is, you don't know any roofing contractors, but you're going to go run that company. You're going to do a really smart thing. You're going to hire Cassie. And you're going to learn from that moment on that she's your right-hand person. She's the person that you can trust more than anyone else out there. And we gain experience. We run a 7-figure business for the first time. But you're also going to learn that there are going to be people out there that take advantage of you. And that company is going to get sold. And you're going to get told that you're overpaid. And that's the moment that you truly decide that Cassie is your partner and you're going to go do something on your own. And so we did. We're going to start a company called Fairway Solutions. Why? Because secretly deep down, you and Cassie love golf. But we felt like it was a play on words. It's the fair way to pay those insurance supplements. So we go and we'll start our own company, Fairway Solutions, doing the insurance supplements for general contractors. And for the first time ever, you're also going to realize that you love hiring younger employees. Why? Because they're not jaded. They're willing to listen and learn from you, and probably more than you, Cassie. But we're going to start this company together, and we're not going to know anything besides the fact that if we show up every single day and we work our asses off, we can do this thing called creating our own reality. So you're going to be scared. There's going to be moments where you feel like you have no idea what you're doing, especially when it comes to bookkeeping and taxes and accounting, but you're going to figure it out. Don't let that slow you down. And then your employees, you're going to realize they have no idea actually how to do their job, and neither do you, because you don't know how to talk like a roofing contractor. They don't know how to talk like a roofing contractor, and the insurance companies can sure tell that no one knows how to talk like a roofing contractor. And you're going to have one of your first great ideas. As an entrepreneur, you can do whatever you want. So you're going to have this great idea. We'll work from 8 to 5, and then from 5 to 8, we're going to go knock on doors. We're going to become a roofing contractor. So you're going to go do that. It's going to be probably the first time that you ever really flex this muscle that you didn't even know you had, which inevitably leads to you being called the king closer. That comes later down the road. It's a little cheesy. You didn't come up with it, so don't worry about that. But you start showing people how to close sellers. Not sellers. What are they? Homeowners. That's what we call those. We start closing roofs. We start doing roofing jobs. The first one you're ever going to do is right across the street from that Fred's Cafe. You're going to do a fence job, and you're going to replace a roof. And you're going to freak out the day of the roof install because you don't have general liability insurance. And for the first time ever, you're going to realize you can't get insurance on the same day you're doing something. And so you're just going to risk your entire life and livelihood doing this roof. Luckily, don't fear. No one's going to fall off that roof. No one's going to die, and you'll make it through. And you learn, hey, RJ, maybe you should plan for some things in the future. Later on, you're going to realize that you're comfortable knocking on doors. You're comfortable talking to homeowners, but Cassie isn't. This is going to be the first time that you are actually going to lead her instead of the other way around. You're going to take her to SMU. Why? Because you know it's really rich houses and you want to get a big job. And so you're going to take her over to SMU, and you're going to be driving a Kia Soul, the same Kia Soul that you dropped her off at that Fred's Cafe, and you're going to firmly place your boot, which you are wearing boots at the time. It was a weird period. I'm still wearing polos and boots, but you're wearing boots, and you're going to place that firmly up Cassie's ass, and you're going to kick her right out of that Kia Soul, and you're going to go tell her to knock on that $2 million house, and you're going to say, people would rather talk to a beautiful woman than this. And so she's going to go do it, and luckily for you, a guy in his late 20s, early 30s is going to answer the door, and he's going to say, yeah, pretty lady, you can climb on my roof. Tell me if I have hail damage. And so she's going to promise this guy, we'll be back in 30 minutes, and you and Cassie are going to get in that Kia Soul, and you're going to drive your ass to the Lowe's, and you're going to buy a 2-story ladder that can fit in a Kia Soul. That does exist. And then you're going to go back, and Cassie is going to climb on the roof because you're afraid of heights. That doesn't change. We're still afraid of heights. And she's going to get up there, and she's going to realize that there's hail damage. And you're going to get the job. And because you know how to supplement insurance claims, you're going to do the entire job. You're going to do some drywall work. You're going to do some interior maintenance. And you're going to really supplement the shit out of that. You're going to get what's called overhead and profit. And you're going to make more money on that deal than you've ever made on anything in your life. And the moment that you drive 2 hours from Fort Worth to SMU to go pick up that final check, that homeowner is going to look you in the eye and say, do you do remodeling? And you're going to look him square in the eye, and you'll apologize to God whenever our time is called, because you're going to lie to that man straight to his face, and you're going to say, absolutely. Because why can't we do anything? We create our own reality. And he says, well, I just bought a flip just right down the road on Water Bridge, 10821 Waterbridge. Keys are in the mailbox. And so Cassie and I go over there, and he wants to flip this house. This is going to be your first introduction to real estate investing. And we go over there, and you're going to sit on the fireplace, and you're going to look at Cassie, and you're going to say, I don't think we can do this, because it's one of the nastiest houses you're ever going to see. It's a full gut. The guy wants to play HGTV. He wants to add a bathroom. He wants to knock down load-bearing walls, which, by the way, at this moment, you don't even know what a load-bearing wall is. That's why you have Cassie. And Cassie's going to look at you and say, RJ, I can do this. And you're going to trust her. And over the next 6, 7, 8 months, you will figure out a way to get that job done. There will be tons of heartache. You will have tile installers steal money from you. You will have other contractors promise the world to you and not show up. You will have arguments in the front yard. You will have that homeowner look you square in the eye and say, did you lie to me? And you'll have to look at them and say, yeah, I did. But what I can promise you is I'll show up every day until this job gets done. And you will. And he will flip the house. And he will make profit. Along the way, you're going to ask him, how did you find this house? And he's going to tell you, for the first time ever, what wholesaling real estate is. And it's going to be the introduction to what will inevitably be your future career. Now, let's talk about 2012. 2012 is the year that we start the business. But there's going to be a lot of things that have nothing to do with business that completely change your life. Your niece is going to be diagnosed with cancer. You're going to have Trinity. You don't know who that is. That's going to be your first son. Your dad's also going to pass away. You're going to drive to his house. And you're going to tell him how proud you are of the fact that you're following in his footsteps to be an entrepreneur. It's going to be the last time you talk to him. A month after he passes away, Trinity is going to be born. 28 years, 30 minutes after you were born. October 19th, it's no longer our birthday. It's his birthday. We share it with him. It's one of the coolest things ever. You're not going to remember what life was like before 2012. It's hard for you to understand that now. But you don't know what responsibility is. And you don't know the power of holding your future in your own hands. In 2025, I wish nothing more than I could look at my dad and say, look what we did. But from that moment, you understand that now it's not about you and Cassie trying to create a business together. There's responsibilities. There's people that rely on you. You have a kid. You have family members that are struggling. And you're going to hire people. You're going to be responsible for their livelihood. And you're going to have to make sure that you show up every single day. So from 2012 to 2014, you're going to remodel houses. You're going to remodel your mom's house. You're going to make your mom's house look like one of the craziest and coolest bathrooms you've ever seen. You're going to go do concrete countertops. You're going to refinish cabinets. Cassie's going to do epoxy countertops, which I didn't even know that was a thing until we did it on a house in Dallas. And you're going to do all of these amazing transformations, but you're going to realize this isn't the path that you want to take, and you're miserable. You're miserable with the reality that you were creating as an entrepreneur. And you're going to realize that 4 years ago, you wanted to do this because you wanted to make more money, you wanted to have freedom, but you also wanted happiness. You don't want to feel the same way you felt when you worked for Eric at Pizza Hut. You ran from that. It's the one thing in your life that you've ever quit. So you're going to explore. You're going to want to look somewhere else. And mom's going to call you one day and say, I got this training. It's free. And it's in a hotel in Fort Worth. And I want you to come to it. Flipping Boston from A&E. It's going to be in Fort Worth, Texas. And so you and Cassie are going to go to this. And you're going to realize very quickly that no one from A&E is there. But there are some really good salesmen, and they're going to say enough about wholesaling real estate that you're then going to pay $1,200 to come back to actually learn how to wholesale real estate. And then when you go, there's going to be a very pretentious man from Phoenix, Arizona, who's going to wear leather pants and brag about his house on Camelback Mountain there in Arizona and how it was all possible because of wholesaling real estate. He's going to say some things that you don't quite understand, like assignment of contract, double close. And he's going to say these things, but he's going to show you some math. And the math is going to make complete sense to you. And you're going to go outside this hotel in Fort Worth, Texas, and you're going to look at your mom, you're going to look at Cassie, and you're going to say, this is what I'm supposed to do with the rest of my life. I can promise you, there was nothing more in my life that I ever knew I should do besides coaching football. But this was the one. This is it. It's my career. This is going to be what I establish my legacy on. And so you're going to go to the back of the room, and then they're going to drop the hammer, and they're going to tell you that it's $65,000, and you're going to think that everything that you just believed you could achieve in your life is gone. Until your mom says, I can put it on a credit card. I can put it on a credit card and you can pay me back. And so you take the chance. Was it a wise decision? At the time, no. 98% of the people in the room that paid $65,000 failed. What I will tell you is, you're one of the 2% that did succeed. And so you spend that $65,000, you're going to do the boots on the ground, you're going to do the one-on-one training, you're going to go to this stupid ass buyer summit at the Luxor Resort in Las Vegas, and you're going to learn just enough about how to wholesale real estate that you're going to completely change everything. From August of 2014 to January of 2015, you will wholesale 4 houses. On New Year's Day, because you're broke as shit, and you're still scared that you're not going to be able to survive as an entrepreneur, you're going to look at Cassie, and this will be another monumental moment where you lead her. You're going to say, we're going to shut down our contracting company. And for the first time ever, we didn't know it was called this, we're going to have a hedgehog concept. And we're going to be laser focused on nothing but wholesaling real estate. And Cassie's going to question this. Why? Because it didn't come as natural to her. She did not dive into the training as much as you. So over the next 4 or 5 months, there's going to be a lot of tension, and you're going to have to lead her. That's okay. Because that first year, you're going to make $750,000 wholesaling real estate straight off the MLS. You'll learn how to do it the right way later on. Trust the process. Simplify things. Listen to what those people teach you, even if they barely even know what they're talking about. And go out and execute better than they did. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been standing up there and getting paid $1,000 to teach us how to do it. So, you're going to go do that first year. And then the second year, they're going to make you over $1 million. For the first time ever, you are going to be the owner of a company that makes over $1 million in a year. The next year, That's going to get to you. The other thing that's going to happen in 2017 is you're going to find your serenity. Your beautiful daughter, Serenity Jane Bates, will come into your life and forever change your life, because forevermore you're going to have to deal with a little mini you. Like, you thought Trinity was a lot like you, and then Serenity comes in, and man, she is literally the little miniature female version. But she truly does bring you serenity. And moving forward, now, not only do you have all of this other purpose, but now you have a beautiful daughter who just added on top of it. The success is going to take a toll. Why? Because you have more money than you've ever had. And you're going to start exploring things. And you're going to stray away from that hedgehog concept. And you're going to decide, because what everybody tells you you're supposed to do. Wholesaling is for the beginners. Let's flip a house. Why should we flip a house in San Antonio? Because we couldn't dispo it. Couldn't find a buyer. It's going to be the first time that you sit there and you don't listen to what everyone else said about a deal, and you're going to buy a property on Carolina Street. It's going to cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars, multiple trips down to San Antonio, and it's going to be the first time that you really have a setback in the real estate world. But you're not going to learn from it, and that's okay. I'm here to tell you the lessons that you learned from 2017 to 2020, where you're going to buy properties in 15 different states, including Hawaii and Alaska. And branching out from being partners with just Cassie and being partners with 15 to 20 other people that were not meant to be your business partner. And you're going to lose a lot of money. You're going to borrow money from people, and you're going to lose that money. And it's going to feel like the world is crashing down, because it actually is. And in 2020, when it feels like things could not get any worse, you're going to live through a pandemic. Yeah, things get really goofy in 2020. Like, you're going to have to wear masks and stay 6 feet away from people, and there's going to be no sports, and people are going to die, and it's going to be real bad. And everyone in your company is going to quit. And it's just going to be you and Cassie. But you're going to start reading books. You're going to read 2 books that completely change your life. 1, Extreme Ownership. You're going to learn that after being the boss man for all these years, you've never actually acted like the boss man. So you're going to learn the thing about accountability. And then you're going to read a book called Relentless. And you're going to realize that you are a cleaner, except you haven't been acting like one. So you're going to come up with the first crazy idea that you have. We're going to create live content, live on YouTube and Facebook every single day. We're going to do this deal called 50 Deals in 50 States in 50 Days. And Cassie's going to look at you when you explain it to her, and she's going to say, but why? We've never done a deal in South Dakota, Montana. Why would we attempt to do this live on YouTube? You're going to say, because I am a cleaner, and I'm going to prove it to the entire industry. And so you're going to go live every single day, and you're not going to get 50 deals. You're going to get 86 deals in 50 days. But only 49 states. And this is where you're going to develop your hatred for the state of Utah and all of the people that live there. But those 50 days are going to completely change your business. And moving forward, you are going to develop the SOPs that are necessary to truly change the tide in what was going wrong in your business. Simultaneous to that, for the first time ever in your lifetime, you will be known as the token white guy. So you're going to get a call at 11 p.m. one night, and you're going to be invited to be on this competition called the Closers Olympics. And the reason why you got the call at 11 p.m. is because they had already come up with all 11 other closers, but they needed a 12th, and all the guys that were putting it together realized they had no white guys. So what white guy do we know? Well, they chose Corey Thompson first. He didn't answer the phone, so they called me next, and I just happened to answer the phone. And from there, you're going to compete in this Closers Olympics, and you're going to be nervous about it. It's a competition seeing who can talk to sellers the best in a 30-minute time frame. And you're going to look at Cassie and you're going to ask her if you should even do it several days before the event. She's going to look at you and say, all you need to do is be RJ. So that's what you're going to go do. It's going to be ridiculous. It's going to be literally some of the most ludicrous footage ever. The camera's going to be shaking. The audio's going to be bad. You're going to have headphones on. Your adrenaline is going to be pumping through the wavelengths. But you're going to make a name for yourself. It's going to be the first time that people actually start paying attention to Titanium. Who is RJ? Who is Cassie? Why is he so aggressive on the phones? Why is he so real on the phones? And so, over the next year, you're going to create content around talking to sellers, being aggressive on the phones, and you're going to get invited back to the second Closers Olympics. And you're never going to be more confident about anything in your life except winning that 2021 Closers Olympics, which you do in dominating fashion. You're going to face Nick Perry in the first round, and you're going to embarrass him so bad that he tells people he doesn't even talk on the phones. And in the second round, you don't even remember the guy you faced. Literally, 4 years later, can't remember his name. Don't think he's in the industry anymore. We start retiring people. And in the finals, you're going to face some other guys. Munif, pretty sure it's just Pace Morby with a mask on. And then another guy named Max Jimenez, which at the time is Steve Trang's partner. And you're going to dominate them, and you're going to win, and you're going to develop your true personality. You're going to come out with trash talk, but in humor. And these people are going to love you. You can look at Munif and make fun of him, and Munif in the same sentence will say how much he loves you. You start finding a place as a leader in the industry. And from that moment on, you decide, I have to start sharing what we're doing here at Titanium. Why? Because you're going to get a call from a CEO of a company that you use named Batch Leads. Jesse Burrell is going to call you and say, why are you not teaching people how to do what you do? And you're going to say, because I've got this hedgehog concept. We were in such a bad place, and we just started changing the tide in our business, and we've got to fix that before we can help other people. And he's going to convince you to start training other people. He's going to look at you and say, there is someone out there that has $10,000 today, and they're going to give it to someone. And it could either be you, or it will be the other person that will not teach them what you know because they don't know it. You have a responsibility to that person. You have a responsibility to yourself, and you have a responsibility to your team and your family to be the one that accepts that $10,000. So you're going to start something called the Titanium Crucible. It'll be a 2-day boot camp inside of your office. People will travel literally from across the world to come to your little humble office in Fort Worth, Texas. And you'll start teaching people how to do wholesale and real estate. And it'll be a life-changing thing for you, because just like that moment outside of the hotel in Fort Worth where you heard the numbers and you heard assignment and double close, and you looked at your mom and you looked at Cassie and you said, this is what I'm supposed to do with my life, you're going to realize this is what I'm supposed to do for my legacy. I want to change other people's lives the same way that this business changed mine. Standing outside of that hotel, giving someone $65,000 so they could barely show me anything about the industry, What if we gave them everything that we know for a fraction of that cost? How good would that make us feel? How awesome would it be to see the people's lives change? And so for the next 2 years, you're going to host these events about once a month. And it's going to be an amazing experience. But you're going to have some setbacks along the way. You're going to get invited to have your own TV show. It's amazing. I know you're probably like, 2010 RJ is super afraid of cameras and lights. You're going to get over that real fast. In fact, you're just really going to fall in love with it. And it's really weird. We don't like heights. We're still afraid of those. Snakes, still afraid. Cameras and lights, we fucking love them. All right, so we get over that super fast, and we get invited to be on a TV show called Zombie House Flipping on A&E. And so you're going to decide that this is going to be the life-changing moment. We're going to go do a TV show because that will show people who we are so we could teach more people. So as you start filming this TV show, you're going to fall in love with the process. You're going to love meeting with the producer, telling the stories, being real and authentic, showing the funny side of real estate investing, but you're going to get all in on flipping houses again. And simultaneous to this, your wholesaling business is going to take a step back, but that's okay because we are going to revolutionize our lives by being on a TV show, and everyone's going to know who we are. And your episode's going to air on December 3rd, 2022. And it's going to be awesome. You're going to be at one of Trinity's hockey games. All the families are going to stand up and cheers you and salute you. You're going to go have a premiere party with the entire crew. And they're going to tell you and Cassie that you're the next Chip and Joanna. I told them I'm going to be better than Chip. And then 7 days later, you're going to get fired. You're going to get fired from TV because on that first episode, you're going to wear a Viking hoodie. Another weird thing that came about. See, you started growing the big beard. And, you know, you're this big white guy, big beard, aggressive. And people are going to start calling you a Viking. And with our personality, we really embrace it. And so we now thoroughly convinced ourselves that we're from Iceland. And Leif Erikson is our like 41st great-grandfather. And we've really embraced it. People buy us helmets and horns, and Cassie buys you a Viking hoodie, and you're going to wear it on your birthday when you're filming, and the camera guy is going to get this great angle of the floor-to-ceiling tile that looks beautiful that we had to do in this $250,000 house in Fort Worth, Texas, and someone's going to tweet, "Is the new star of zombie house flipping a white supremacist?" And you're going to get questioned why your name is RJ Bates III. Why did you name your son Trinity? Why did you put the Roman numeral 3 on the back porch of a house? And all of this is just because I'm literally Robert John Bates III. There was a senior, a junior, and they made you the third, and you didn't want to name your son the fourth, so you named him Trinity. And all of this was just in good fun to make good TV, but you are going to be a victim of society. And you're going to get fired. And you're going to fall into pretty deep depression. You're going to feel like a pretty big dumbass. Why in the world did I think I could do TV? Why in the world did I literally ruin my entire company for this? And then about 4 months later, you're going to decide, fuck that noise, I'm a cleaner. How did I fix this the first time? Clean it up. Let's do it again. Run it back. 50 deals, 50 states, 50 days, 2.0, no announcement, no nothing, just fucking run it, baby. Turn the cameras on and you crush it. 125 contracts in 50 days. Completely reverse everything that was going on in your business. You're going to have guys come into your life like Keaton Sherman, Justin Helms, Garrett Littleton. They're going to become your family. They're going to become the people that you ride or die with because they believe in what you stand for, what you and Cassie stand for as people and as a company. And they're going to trust along the way, no matter how bad things look, no matter how humbling of a moment it was when you had to walk out on the floor and say, I cannot pay you your paycheck today. But I promise you, if you stick with me, it'll be worth it. And it will be. And so you fight through that time, you do the 125 contracts in 50 days, you completely change your business, you decide we're going to move away from the crucible. It's not what we want. We want something more than 2 days with working with people. I want to work with them forever so we can truly change their life. So you announce during the 50-50-50 that you'll do one more crucible. And you say it all the time. You will get up on stage, you'll say it on podcasts, you'll talk about embracing moments, but there will be a moment during that last crucible that you have to embrace. Because there will be a guy named Nick that will walk up to you, say, you should be so much bigger than you are. And he's not talking about this. He's talking about to all of you guys. He said, I've spent over $50,000 trying to learn how to do this. And in the first half of the first day, I've learned more here than I have in all of that. For whatever reason, you're going to see something in this guy, and you're going to know right away, I should be in business with that guy. You have no idea how important it is to Nick, because he's struggling to figure out what he's going to do in real estate. And you had no idea that he is an absolute expert at what he does when it comes to marketing for coaching programs. And so you and Cassie will become partners with Nick and his wife, Sima. Sima will be on the tail end of her battle with cancer, and you'll absolutely fall in love with them. And it will be amazing to see what you do over the next year and a half. For the first time since working with Cassie, you will find someone else that you can turn over the reins to and completely trust them to do their job. And they will change your life. So, 2010 RJ, it's now 2025, June of 2025. You're standing in front of a camera in a room full of lights that you used to be afraid of, and it is hot as shit in here. It looked great on camera, but standing in here, oh my God, it is like 5,000 degrees. But I'm here to tell you something. There are people literally all across the world that you help change their life. Why? Because you listen to Cassie, dropping it off at Fred's Cafe. You didn't give up when life told you to give up in 2012, when your niece got cancer, when you had a newborn baby and your dad passed away and you had no money. In 2014, when you went down to $11 in your bank account because you were trying to do this thing called wholesale and real estate, you didn't give up. Through all of the fights that you and Cassie will have over the years, because you're two of the most passionate individuals in existence, you won't give up through all of that. And through that, you will now be able to look at people all across the world that call you and thank you for changing their life. For everyone else that's watching this, you have no idea what your path looks like. I couldn't have imagined what that 15-year path looked like, but I wouldn't change it. Don't change yours. Just follow it.
Did you have any physical injury?
No.
Good. $2,500. We're done. Thank you very much.
Judy just done told you you got to pay.
That's Judge Judy. John, what you doing, man? Oh man, I was just farting around the house, and man, saw my driver sitting over there, and just curious if you wanted to go grab some 18 with me. Nah, man, yeah, no. Hey, you being there with the grandbabies, that's way more important. Hey, listen, whenever you're available, just give me a shout, all right? Tell the wife and the kids that I said hi. Okay. Yeah. Don't want to lose any more money. He ain't gonna call me. Yeah. This is why she always did it. I don't know how to work you. 40 years. Nothing. No music. Nothing. Hey, baby. How are you doing? I'm okay. You know, just not much to do. Little poker by myself. Watch some TV. I still can't work the record player. What are y'all up to today? I know. I need to come see you guys. When I'm just trying to find some time, and when I would love to see the dance recital too. Yes, dance recital, t-ball game. I'd love to come do all that. I want to come see you guys. So, okay, I know you're busy. Yep, you go take care of the kiddos. I'll talk to you soon, okay? Oh, man. What am I doing? What am I doing? Hello? This is him? Do I want to sell my house? Well, it's, yeah, I think I would be open to that. Well, I want as much as I can possibly get. How else do people answer that question? All right, well, what do I have going on? Well, I'm a disabled veteran. And my wife passed away from cancer, and this house is my home. It's been my home forever. I grew up here. I inherited the property. This was my wife and my home forever, and we raised our kids, and the kids have moved out. And they're gone. The grandbabies, you know, they live out of town now, and you know, I don't have a lot to do. I need to get out of here, honestly. So that's what I've got going on. The house is in livable condition. You know, I mean, it's our home. You know, I mean, there's some things that don't work, like the record player. I can't get it to work. My wife did it for 40 years. I can't figure out, but I mean, you know, the toilet's flush, the lights turn on, and the fridge keeps things cold, and the stove heats things up. So I mean, it's a home. I think the most important thing to me is that I get the hell out of here. I don't need all the money in the world. I mean, obviously I want to get paid fairly for this home because it's what I've owned forever, but I need to do something with my life. I don't want to play checkers and chess and poker by myself anymore. And time's passing me by. My grandson just had his first T-ball game, and I didn't even know because I don't live there. I'm over here watching Judge Judy and drinking Tito's. The most important thing to me is that I get a fair price and I get out of here as soon as possible. Honestly, I think I could get out of here in 60 days. I would have to find a place where I'd be moving to because it's out of state, but that's something you can help me with too. So what happens? You guys come out here and you just give me a quote? You're willing to give me an offer right now. How can you do that? You haven't seen it. How much are we talking about? You're gonna give me $150,000. You can come over here right now, and I'll be out of here a hell of a lot faster than 60 days. Like I said, I can't do this anymore. The most important thing for me is I get out of here as quickly as possible. I don't want people coming and walking through the house, you know, and showing and talking about my home that I've had for my entire life. I want to get paid, and I want to move on. I want to move to Georgia and be with my family. Okay, so you guys are going to want to come out here. Do I have an email? I got a typewriter. That's what I got. I'm talking to you on a landline. Okay, so you're going to come out. You're going to bring the contract, and you're going to come out and take some pictures. Okay. All right, same time tomorrow. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, good. How are you?
Come on in. What's your name?
My name is Cassie.
Kathy?
Cassie with S's, short for Cassandra.
That's fancy.
Thanks.
I had a friend named Kathy.
I get that a lot.
Do you?
Yeah.
From a bunch of us old people?
I mean, old and young alike. All right, so we've got a contract to sign, huh?
Make it sound scary.
It's not scary. It's not scary at all. 8 simple boxes. We can go through it real fast, and I'm here if you have any questions. All right.
Where's the paper?
Do you want to sign it on paper? Because I didn't print it out. I just have it where you can actually sign it right here.
You know, my kids tell me that I need to learn more about this kind of stuff.
Computer stuff? Technology?
Yeah.
Yeah, you seem to be doing all right.
All right. So I'm gonna sign this, and you're gonna give me $150,000.
Closing day through the title company. Yeah. I mean, I don't have a briefcase full of cash. It's just, it works like a regular pen. There you go.
Okay.
That wasn't scary at all. Just an initial at the bottom of
All of the initials?
all of the initials. You're doing a great job. It's not scary at all.
I just want to make sure that you're giving me $150,000.
Right. So it's gonna, let me back up. So the $150,000 is in cash. I'm gonna go through here. I'm gonna take some photos, but basically what's gonna happen is we're gonna open title. We're gonna make sure.
You're gonna take pictures of me?
Well, if you want me to, but you know.
I ain't never had a woman say she wanted to, so.
Well, we could take pictures of you so you have some memories with the house.
I got plenty of memories. You know, I grew up here.
Did you?
Yeah. Pops, Mom died, gave me the house. I decided I wanted to live here and raise my kids. You know what they did?
What's that?
They said, we don't want this. They moved halfway across the country.
Oh my goodness.
So now you know what I had to do?
What?
My wife died.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. You know, I'm one of the rare men that outlived their wife. That's how good of a husband I was. Yeah. So she died. Kid's gone. I ain't got nothing to do. So you know what I'm gonna do?
What you gonna do?
I'm gonna move halfway across the country. I'm gonna go bother them kids.
You're gonna pester them, huh?
Yeah, Grandpa gonna show up with 150,000 and say, Grandpa's here.
We're going on adventures.
You want a new T-ball bat?
Well, that sounds like a good time.
Yeah. Otherwise, it was just gonna be me and my friend Tito's all night.
Oh yeah. All right. So what I'll make sure to do is, so you don't have an email at all.
I thought that's what I just did. I just emailed that.
Well, it does email it, but I want to make sure Title's able to get a hold of you and then get you copies of your paperwork in the meantime. So do you need them printed out and delivered?
When you say title, I'm giving you the title, right?
Well, yeah, it's gonna be done through a neutral third party, an escrow officer, a title company. Basically, they just pull up the history of the title.
Well, they're neutral until they meet me.
You saying they're gonna fall in love or they're gonna run away?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I say things like that because it can go either way. And then I'm always right. That's why my wife died. She couldn't handle it anymore. He said, "This son of a bitch never wrong."
I feel like that's a trait often found in men.
So what I need to do? Just get
So from here, I'll just make sure that I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna take some photos and I'm gonna make sure that we have record of everything that we gotta fix, update things like that, and
I'll update that kitchen.
Well, yeah, that's.
I told the guy on the phone, the fridge keeps it cold and the stove gets it hot.
Right.
What else could you want?
Well, for us, that would be great. That works for you. But what we have to do as an investor is we're going to have to come in and we're going to have to update it just so that we have, we create value by adding money to the property. And then that's how we get a return.
You know what added value to me in my life? My mama cooking me milk and cinnamon and rice on that.
Milk and cinnamon and rice.
You ever had that?
No.
You ain't never been broke. That's why you can give me $150,000 for this piece of shit. Otherwise, you would have been having some milk, cinnamon, and rice. All right, sweetheart. Take your pictures.
All right. You gonna take this typewriter with you?
Yeah.
I got photos of everything. We should be all good from everything that I can see. It's fitting in our plan. So unless anything changes or anything comes up on title that we need to solve together, we'll touch base. Call us as often as you want updates. We'll probably call you weekly and give you updates. Maybe have one or two more showings if we need a specific person to come out.
Did you say I can call you every day?
Well, you sure can.
I call you every day.
I thought you said you weren't interested in getting a second wife.
So I had a friend named Kathy. I make a friend named Cassie.
All right. Well, I am working, so don't be too offended if I don't answer right away.
All right. Nice to meet you.
It was good to meet you.
All right. $150,000. I'm gonna get me a new dog. You will win today. You're such a beautiful disaster. To the day you die, and every low and high. But you're not afraid to die because every day you remember to live. You live by winning today. You will win today because today is all that exists. This is the way. This is the way it's supposed to be. I forgive you for the mistakes you will make today. I'm proud of you. I love you. Your competition will hate you today. Your competition will respect you today. Your competition will love you for the impact you make for the industry today. Many people will despise the decisions you make today. You will make the right decision regardless. Many people will praise you today. You will not change to achieve this result. You will give everything you have today because it is your responsibility. You will work hard, you will love hard, you will listen, and you will observe. You will take care of yourself today. You will eat right, you'll get your movement in, you will feed your mind, and you will sleep. Now, close your eyes. And what do you see? An endless cage. You can't escape your mind. But remember that when you close your eyes, there will be a time it will come with eternal silence. Now open your eyes, and what do you see? Today is what you see, and you succeed today. But success isn't final. Shatter the sky. Let's fucking go.
Here's what I'm going to ask you up front. Make sure you watch every single second of this video. I'm going to make sure that I keep it as concise as I possibly can. But there's going to be different analogies and different points that I make throughout. And if you are struggling with making decisions, figuring out how to find success as a newer entrepreneur, this is the video for you. The best advice that I can give to a new entrepreneur is to slow down. You are going to be okay. I promise you. As long as you slow down and stop panicking. I see it time and time again. People come in, they decide, I'm going to be a new wholesaler. I'm going to join Titanium University. I'm going to join the Vault. I bought the King Closer's Blueprint. I bought Titanium Profits. I got the profit calculator. Maybe you're doing the 0 to 1 million challenge using speed to lead and easy REI closings and InvestLift. And then the moment that something doesn't go to plan, it's chaos. It's panic. We're immediately freaking out. Saw this the other day where someone said, I'm doing the 0 to 1 million plan. Coupon Club's just not working out for me. What's the next best lead source? First question I asked, how many leads have you purchased? If you're following the 0 to 1 million plan, you know that it's 1 out of every 25 leads should lead to a contract. He had bought 13 leads and was already seeking out the next lead source. That is a classic example of what I'm talking about. Don't freak out. You haven't even given your plan the opportunity to succeed yet, and you're already wanting to change to the next plan. You're never going to find success that way. And even if you do, you're not going to know why you found success because you're constantly flip-flopping from plan A to plan B to plan C to plan D. Have a plan A. Stick with it. Trust in it. See if it works out. Well, the first analogy I want to use is, listen, I have a 12-year-old and I have a 7-year-old. Part of having kids is introducing them to the things that we loved as kids. One of those is video games. Playing Super Mario. I loved playing Super Mario as a kid. And I'm talking about the old Super Mario 1, 2, and 3 on the Nintendo Entertainment System, and then Super Mario World. Now, if you've ever played these video games before, you know you're just running across the screen and basically jumping over bad guys and over the holes in the world, right? And then you get to the end of the level and you jump on the flag. That's it. Very simple game. What's hilarious about watching my kids play this game is how quickly they try to run through the level. And I'm like, guys, you're not that good yet. Like, just slow down. Run up to the bad guy, the little Goomba. Right? He doesn't even do anything. You just run up to him and then just jump. If they just slow down and hit all the little boxes, got all the little mushrooms and the flowers and the stars and the coins, they would have extra lives and all of that. They slowed down and made sure that they could jump over the holes so they didn't kill themselves. They would win every level. They don't do that. They try to get through the level as quickly as possible. If you've ever played Super Mario, how many times do you actually die because time runs out on the level? Very rarely. But yet I watch my kids just panic and try to get through as quickly as they possibly can. And that's what we do as entrepreneurs. We decide that, oh, RJ created this YouTube video. Here's how I'm going to make $1 million in 2025. I go buy 13 speed to lead leads, and I don't have a contract yet. Some of them haven't even answered the phone. So we hit the panic button. We go in the vault and we say, should I be using property leads? Should I do lead Zolo? Should I hire a cold caller? And now you're taking advice from all of these different voices. And we're coming up with different plans. When in reality, what we've seen inside of Titanium University is that the reason why the plan is not working has nothing to do with speed to lead or the quality of the leads. It has to do with the closer's ineffectiveness on the phone with the seller. Maybe it's just a few questions here or there. Maybe it's your ability to comp and underwrite. Ultimately, what it really normally comes down to is your ability to listen. So I'm asking you right now in this video, if you could just please listen to me as someone that has been an entrepreneur for 15 years. I promise you, if you slow down and you don't panic, you will start seeing results over the course of time. And that's where the plan A will become the one that's successful. I found myself falling victim to this when Cassie and I were recording a TV show. See, what would happen is we would buy the house, and then we would have to do an intro video on, hey, this is how we purchased the house. This is our plan with it. And then we would record ourselves doing demo, then remodeling the house. And then we would do a final walkthrough at the end of the episode showing how beautiful it was. And then the results, the outro, right? We successfully flipped the house and we made lots of money. Yay. And then it would go off to editing. And editing would come back to us and say, hey, RJ, on this random Tuesday, when you were talking about what you guys were going to do to the kitchen, you happened to talk for 25 seconds about the cabinets. Well, based off of how we've edited the video so far, we need you to talk for 15 seconds. So we still want you to say the same thing that you just said, but we're going to need you to do what's called a pickup. And we've changed what you said to what we need you to say that fits 15 seconds. Now, I struggled with this. I struggled for many different reasons. One, I don't like following scripts. I don't like it when people change the way that I talk. It's just my nature. The other reason why I really struggle with this is because the entire crew, the entire set, I'm talking about the light guys, the cameramen, the personal assistants that were there, the producers. We're talking about 25, 30 people standing in the front yard of this property, waiting on me with energy and the right, tonality and making sure that I was still in the same place that I was when I originally recorded this. Nailed it. 15 seconds, exactly what we said, down to each individual word, exactly the way we want you to say it. They were all watching me. And I found myself constantly speeding it up, trying to just get it done. And the crew would consistently tell me, dude, just slow down. It's okay if you don't get it on the first take. However, you guys know me on YouTube, but I don't really edit these videos. I've never had an editor until last week. Thanks, Jordan. You're making me look better. But at the end of the day, I'm used to just free balling. Free balling? I don't know if that's free spitting. I don't know. Maybe I'm not that good on improv anymore. However, what I normally do is just come on here and improv and just say what's on my heart. And that's what I would do originally, right? Hey, what are you guys going to do in the kitchen? Blah, 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 25 seconds. Now they're saying I had to condense it down to 15 and I would panic. It was cold when we were doing these pickups. It was like 25 degrees and windy outside. I could see how miserable everybody else was. And this is what we do as entrepreneurs, right? We see our family, our significant others, our spouses looking at us and saying, so you're going to put the future of our family on your shoulders as an entrepreneur. You're going to go into wholesaling. Is this going to work? You're putting all this money on a credit card for leads. And we start panicking. I bought 13 and I don't have a deal yet. My family is worried whether or not this hobby that I've picked up is really going to be something. Yet I've invested money into courses and leads and softwares, and I'm not getting results. Tell them up front, it's going to take time. It's going to take time. Everyone that I trust in this industry tells me it's going to take time, because I'm telling you it's going to take time. There's a great quote that I want to read right now, and it comes from the Joker in The Dark Knight. And you're like, oh man, but just follow me here. The Joker says, you know what I've noticed? Nobody panics when things go according to plan, even if the plan is horrifying. If tomorrow I tell the press that like a gangbanger will get shot or a truckload of soldiers will be blown up, nobody panics because it's all part of the plan. But when I say that one little old mayor will die, well, then everyone loses their minds. Introduce a little anarchy, upset the established order, and everything becomes chaos. I'm an agent of chaos. Oh, and you know the thing about chaos? It's fair. Now, as I read this quote by the Joker in The Dark Knight, which I loved that movie, I looked up just real quick, what is the definition of anarchy? The definition of anarchy is it's a state of disorder due to absence or non-recognition of authority. So think about this from an entrepreneur level, right? We're fine when everything goes according to plan, right? If I were to tell you, go buy 25 leads and you'll get a contract, and you do that over and over again, you'll make $1 million as long as you close 75 or 70% of those at a $15,000 assignment fee. That's the plan. But then you start buying leads and you're not closing deals. Well, where's the anarchy there? Well, there's no leader. You are the leader. You are the authority now as the entrepreneur. Most times when you're brand new as an entrepreneur, you're used to having some sort of boss or authority figure to tell you it's going to be okay. Well, you just introduced some anarchy to your own life, and you're the agent of chaos. You're going out there and you're signing up for all of these softwares, and you're getting these leads, and you're racking up debt, and you're buying courses. And if it doesn't go to plan, you're going to start freaking out. Well, how about this? Let me reintroduce the plan to you. There is no plan, and it's not going to go the way that you want it to the majority of the time. That's the beautiful part of being an entrepreneur. It's our job to figure it out along the way. And then there's going to be an inflection point in your career where you're going to see that the results are actually a lot better than what you anticipated because you stuck with it and you became a master at it. How do you become a master at it? Is by sticking with the plan, sticking to it, and working to get 1% every single day. Make sure you're winning the day. If you don't do that, that's where the chaos will consume you and the anarchy will make you search for someone else being the authority figure in your life. But if you want to maintain that status where you control your destiny and you make sure you're creating the reality that you want, you have to be okay with the chaos, and you have to be okay with not getting the results that you anticipate on day one. Because the results that you anticipate on day one are a fairy tale that are never going to exist. You're my 7-year-old daughter running through Super Mario level 1 without even knowing how to hit the jump button and running right into the Goomba. That's who you are. Stop freaking out. Slow down. Realize that it's going to take time. Realize that you have no idea how to talk to a seller. You don't understand how to comp and underwrite correctly. And especially on the backside, you have no idea how to dispo a deal. That's what we're here to teach you on a daily basis. But you don't hit that panic button. You sit back when things aren't going correctly. Find yourself slowing down and enjoying the moment of this is what you have asked for. This is what you wanted. When someone else was dictating what you were going to do with your life, you sat there and said, I wanted nothing more than the opportunity to be able to create chaos for myself and to be able to find a way to make unlimited amount of money based off of my ability to become an expert in a craft. That's what you're doing now. So it might take some weeks, others months, and the majority of you years before you really start reaping the benefits of being an entrepreneur. But what really will separate you from the vast majority of people that fail is looking at it and saying, this is all a part of the plan. This is all a part of the process. You are an agent of chaos, and you're not introducing anarchy because you are the authority moving forward in your life. So enjoy those chaotic moments. Slow down, live inside of the chaos, and figure out how you're going to solve it. How do you learn from each one of those chaotic moments? The last analogy that I'll use is with my son and my daughter. They both play hockey, very high level. One of the things that I've noticed about my son when he plays hockey is I can always tell whether or not they're going to be able to win the game or lose the game in like the first 5 minutes. And the reason why I'm able to do that is not because of talent or anything like that. It's based off of their ability to react to what the opponent is doing. If the opponent is speeding them up and making them respond and react to everything that they're doing before they're ready, they will make mistakes. They'll turn the puck over, give up goals that they otherwise shouldn't do, make bad passes. But when the team is composed and takes their time and really analyzes what's going on the ice before they make decisions and then passes the puck, that's when I know that they're going to win. It's the same thing with entrepreneurs. The ones that sit back and say, RJ told me that I'm going to close 1 out of every 25 speed of lead leads. And I've bought 13. That means I've got to go buy a lot more to get to that 1 out of 25. The ones that hit the panic button, you've got to slow down. You've got to trust those of us that were there that are saying this is the path and this is how you find success. Otherwise, you're going to struggle. So at the end of the day, I told you guys I'd keep this concise. I'm keeping it less than 20 minutes. You are an agent of chaos, but you are the authority moving forward. Slow down. You're going to be okay. I promise you. We started Titanium University last February. the intention was to create a community that was based around getting results, getting signed contracts, assigning those contracts, and making money. Enabling every single person inside of Titanium University to create their own reality, whatever that looks like, whatever it is that they were desiring, whether that's to run a multiple seven-figure wholesale operation, or if it's just to do their first ever deal. Whatever that looked like, we wanted to open up that opportunity. Proud to say this time, I feel like we've done an excellent job at creating an atmosphere and that community that does that for the vast majority of the members. But over the course of time, things have changed for me and Cassie, and Nick, and Sema, and Justin, Garrett, and everybody here at Titanium that works alongside all of the TU members every single day. Doing deals is just what we do now. It's not the goal. The goal is to actually allow people to live the life that they've always wanted to live. Facilitating that life by making money wholesaling real estate. The education piece exists. Show them how to generate leads, talk to sellers, comp and underwrite, dispo, transaction coordination, all the different things that are required to be a great virtual wholesaler. But the purpose, our purpose, has become so much larger because of the people inside of TU. It's a daily thing now where I am emotional and I'm brought to tears by the impact that either the education, the other people, our words, our language that we speak at TU has significantly changed people's lives. And it's so much more than just contracts and closings at this point in time. Now, I'm going to share with you guys several testimonials on this video. And the reason why I want to show you this, I want to be very clear. I'm making this video because I want to tell you very straightforward. My intention is to have each and every one of you that watches this video join Titanium University. Not because I can make a lot of money. We ask you for money one time at Titanium University. Once you've paid, you're in for life. I want you there because I want you to feel what everyone feels at Titanium University. I want you to be a part of something that is a lot larger than just wholesaling real estate. There's so many other things that take place inside of there. The friendships, the connections, the partnerships that are taking place, the conversations that we have inside of our book club meetings or our social media masterclass. These are the types of conversations that I want you to be a part of. I want you to have the connections with the amazing people inside of Titanium University. And alongside that, of course, we'll teach you how to be a great wholesaler. Just last night, I got a notification that I was tagged in a TikTok. This man, Brett Poe, just closed his first deal inside of TU. And it was from the batch of leads that we give every member on day one. Day one, you come in. It's about an hour to an hour and a half long Zoom call where we onboard you and we tell you all the things that you're getting for joining Titanium University. Then at the end, we give you 30 leads for free. And we tell you we are about action here at Titanium University. So today, no matter where you are in your journey, you're going to talk to sellers. You're not going to be a part of Titanium University and not take action. You're going to do revenue generating activities every single day. So we give you 30 inbound leads. We tell you, go mess something up. Brett did. Took massive action on that first day. He got a signed contract. He paid roughly $6,800 to join Titanium University, and he made $10,000 on his first day. From a lead that we gave him, he's already $3,200 profitable by being a part of Titanium University. But when you listen to this testimonial, this TikTok that he recorded, it's so much more than the money and the deal closing. Brett, super proud of you, brother. So excited to have you in the family. Check out this testimonial from Brett Poe.
Is this what I think it is, bro? Yeah, that $10,000 check is my day one deal from joining Titanium University, dude. Now, I could tell you all the ins and outs about the deal, but I'm not going to do that. There's actually something more important that I need to explain. I do not consider myself a lazy person, but if I were to compare myself before TU and after TU, it's a completely different person. Why? Because I'm doing different things now. And I have completely removed all of the crap that has been piled on top of me. I am interested in a lot of stuff, and none of that stuff made money. So when I reflect the last 6 or 9 months, it was a complete shit show, bro. Recruiting agents didn't work for me. Digital marketing didn't work for me. E-commerce didn't work for me. Affiliate marketing didn't work for me. Building websites, kinda barely, just barely, but I was still just trading time for money anyways. Being a real estate agent, what the heck was I thinking? I was going to open houses, putting out signs in people's yards, and then no one would show up. What the crap, bro? Literally the past year and a half has been failure after failure after failure to the 10th power. I have paid tens of thousands of dollars in coaching and mentors and gurus and seminars and trainings and blah and blah. And I was pretty close to just saying screw it, dude. I'm going back into IT to get a regular job at 25, 30 bucks an hour and make my family proud while I'm hating my life. And then out of nowhere, RJ Bates III has the tenacity to send me a Facebook ad about his Black Friday special. I bought it. I've been an RJ Bates III fan for literally forever. Used to watch him all the time, off and on, because sometimes real estate would just piss me off, so I would go and watch e-commerce people, and then I'd watch affiliate people, and then I'd come back to RJ, and I'd just bounce all over this place. And I went through his course, and it was great. It was good. It was awesome. As I'm sitting there at an open house, I'm listening to his course. And I'm in marketing. I know the tactics. I know the progression. I used to sell seminars and real estate courses for a hard money lender guru guy for years. You sign up for one course, they give you a call, and they want to upsell you to another course. And man, even though I've been in sales for a long time, I am a easy sale. If I have the money, the deal's done closed, bro. I don't need too much convincing. And I have learned that the hard way, okay? So I'm sitting back and I'm waiting for the call to get upsold on another course. But this time I didn't have any money. And just like I predicted, they called. And I said, "Sup, dude, I'd love to join, but I'm broke." I left everything out on the table. I told this guy my past, what I wanted my future, my goals, my struggles, my financial situation, being an agent, being an acquisition specialist, blah, 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 blah. Normally, I wouldn't have done that. In the previous courses from things, I kind of wanted to just maintain like my sense of being proud. I wanted to pretend like I was successful and like, yeah, I don't really need this, you know, like I'm just getting it for fun kind of thing, you know. But this time I laid it all out. I'm like, bro, I want it. I need it. I can't buy it. I'm at a sink or swim stage of my life. I'm just being honest with you. And he appreciated that honesty. Long story short, I was able to get into the system. I was able to join TU. And I was beyond grateful with a little bit of skepticism. Because let's face it, I have been screwed over so many damn times, bro. I used to be naive. I used to be gullible. And I told myself I was not buying any more courses again, ever. But thank God I did, man. Because now I have the full picture of exactly where to spend my time. And that was my biggest challenge, is I was spending my time on things and crap that I didn't need. There was no point. When I joined Pace Morby Sub 2, I was all in, bro. I was ready to go. Because when I was an acquisition specialist, we would do Sub 2 deals all the time. But there were things on the back end that I didn't necessarily understand, which I still don't, that they were doing with like trusts and making sure the property have its equity and they could refinance or sell and still make a profit. Like, there was things about it that made it make more sense, okay? So I got super discouraged, bro. I never wanted to do a Sub 2 that takes 6 months to close. And finally, when RJ Bates III and Cassie said, bro, don't worry about Sub 2, get deals, I was like, thank you! Thank you! I've seen bad things happen with those deals, bro. I know it is not as good as it's positioned to be. It is clickbait. Sub 2 is like a catfish, bro. It's like when you meet someone and you just like different picture than what you thought and you're like, yeah, it's not, that wasn't you, you know? That's what a Sub 2 is for me, bro. It is a total bait and switch for me. Because it was like, yeah, you can buy a house, no money down, no credit score, cool. And I'm just like, whoa, eating that up. Like, hey, I would love to do that. I can't buy a house right now. I'm self-employed. Like, what the heck? I'm a real estate agent that doesn't own a house. Come on, bro. Like, yeah, let me get a Sub 2. That sounded perfect at the time. So I got slapped 3 different times by joining Titanium University. One is, RJ said, Hedgehog concept. Focus on the flipping deals. Get in, get out, do the deal, do the deal. Get on the phone, do the deal. Straight to the point. I love it. And then Cassie goes, screw Sub 2. We do them, you shouldn't. I'm like, great, thank you, I needed that. And then I joined a team with John Looney, the third punch to the gut. He said, dude, if you don't call, some 19-year-old kid's gonna call and make 10 grand. They probably don't even know anything and they're just gonna fall into the deal. I'm like, what? No. That pissed me off, dude. There ain't no way in hell I have gone through all of this misery and failures and trials of tribulation, and he has the gullet to tell me that some 19-year-old schmuck that don't know nothing is gonna get the deal from me. It ain't happening, dude. I'm gonna get that deal. I'm gonna close it. I'm gonna work with ethics, morals, and integrity. I'm gonna make it right by the seller. I'm gonna make it right by the buyer. I know more, have done more, and care more than to not get the deal. So I got it, bro. Seller's happy, I'm happy, buyer's happy. So that's my rant. That's my story. It's on to get more deals, dude. And if you're in a position in life right now where you're pissed off, good. Because I had to get pissed in order to actually do something. And I had to make promises and put my ass on the line while being totally freaked out and scared but there was light at the end of the tunnel. And it all's working out now, man. This is just the beginning.
I mean, you sit there and you watch that testimonial, that story that Brett just told. I mean, that's his life. This man was going from, industry to different industry, different course to different course, trying to find his way. And for me to be his solution and to point him in the right direction and to be clear, I don't think that we do anything out of the norm except show up every single day and talk about what we do in our wholesaling business. The truth. This is what we do. It's real and it's raw and it's authentic. What else could you ask for? Now, moving away from Brett, we have people like Glenn and Matt Doble. Glenn had been in wholesaling. He had joined other courses just like Brett. And Glenn, at this point, has brought in probably a handful of other people inside of TU, and every time he does it, he tells us, I want more people's lives changed, just like you changed my life. Check out this video from Glenn.
Yo, what is happening, you guys? Galen from Break the Cycle Wholesaling Real Estate here, and I wanted to take the time to speak about my personal experience being part of the Titanium University and the Titanium University family. Prior joining the Titanium University, the only way that I was generating leads was through cold calling. So I cold call for leads for about a year and 2 months. And then while I was cold calling, I kept hearing RJ Bates speaking about this method to generate leads, which was pay-per lead, PPL. And so he was a huge proponent of it, and I have been a huge fan. I resonated with RJ Bates a lot. So I have decided and I invested in myself and I joined the community. Since joining the community about 90 days ago, I have closed 2 deals and I have $70,000 in pending wholesaling fees in escrow. And I just could not believe that I'm saying this, because in my first year of wholesaling, cold calling, I closed only 3 deals and it was for about $50,000. My favorite part being of the community, I want to talk about my favorite part. As you guys know, that really this business is about taking action. And when you join a lot of different communities, what they make you do is watch videos, which there's nothing bad about it. But we tend to actually get super distracted and we start watching only videos as opposed to really doing the work. The first day we joined the Titanium University, RJ and his team actually provided us with motivated seller leads that we had to call on our first day of joining the community. That gave me and a lot of other students the momentum that we needed so we can actually get successful in this business. And the numbers that I've shared with you guys so far are just speaking for themselves. For everybody that is like, should I join the community or should I just keep doing nothing and keep watching YouTube videos? Guys, that little push to get you off the fence will happen in the Titanium University. Why? Because there's multiple people that are actually caring for you and they're going to keep you accountable. And who knows, maybe when you join, you're going to be part of that club that will receive leads on their first day. And that's going to put you on that momentum path where you are going to change your life. Thank you, Titanium University.
Watch that testimonial from Glenn, and it's amazing to see how our relationship has transformed over the past year. Just the other day, he messaged me and he asked me, he's about to have his first child. He's about to become a dad. And he asked me, what's going to change? And I wrote him a response back. And he said, man, thank you so much. I'm going to save these words for when it gets tough. He doesn't have to save those words because he can just ask me whenever he wants. That's the responsibility that I want. I want to be there for Glenn, and it has nothing to do with wholesaling a property or doing an innovation. It's like that. That's just what we do. That's the career. That's not who we are. But helping transform him to becoming the best dad that he can be, told him things are going to get a lot easier for you. Some people say it's harder when you become a dad. I don't think it is. It becomes a lot easier. The reason why it becomes easier is because you have a lot more purpose than just working for yourself. Every single day when you don't have a child, it's a lot easier to make an excuse to not show up. It's going to be much easier for him to have a purpose to show up and to perform and do those actions that we need to do every day as a wholesaler. Make sure that he's providing for his family. Another member of our first class, Matt Doble, is a firefighter in Montana. Check out what Matt has to say.
Hello, my name is Matthew. My company is Rocky Mountain Capital Properties. I am also part of the first class of the Titanium University. Titanium University has been a huge investment into my wholesaling business, and it's been one of the best things I've done for myself and my family. Since joining Titanium, I have gained the knowledge, the experience firsthand through RJ, Cassie, Nick, and Sema. These 4 individuals want us all to succeed, and they pour their heart and soul into making sure that everybody is getting that success. So if anybody is on the fence of joining the next class, Trinity, do it. It's a small investment into what you are going to get in the long run. So make that jump, do it, and you will not regret. As long as you put in the work, that's the main thing. Put in the work, you will be successful. The best thing I think about the university is you get the implementation calls every day of the week, and you get that no BS fluff from Cassie, from RJ, from Nick, nothing. You don't. They tell you how it is, and they want you to be better, and you will be better. So make the jump, do it. You won't regret it. Hope to see you in the next class.
What's incredible about Matt is that he's so busy with his firefighting career that I very rarely get to spend that one-on-one time with him. But over the past year, he's been a staple inside the community. He's worked with other people, done deals, and always been a resource for those new members that come in. Thank you, Matt. As TU has evolved over the past 13, 14 months, there has been an opportunity for people inside the community to take leadership positions. Not because they get anointed, but because that's who they are. They feel a responsibility to reach out to those that need help and maybe need that extra phone conversation or extra support on how to talk to sellers outside of just the implementation calls, but really finding a way to work together. Really, truly making this a community, not just because we call it one, but because it is one. Guys like John Looney, JW, my good friend Bobby Frost, aka Jason Strickland. Jason has been with us since the beginning, very early on. Jason shows up to every implementation call, no matter what he's doing. Majority of the time, he's driving his truck. He has a route. He's driving. He's delivering things. He'll show up. And almost every single implementation call, he asks a question. Not necessarily for himself, but to make myself, Cassie, Nick, Justin, Garrett, whoever's running the implementation call, think a little bit deeper about the topic, about the subject in which we're talking about. But behind the scenes, what makes Jason a leader is all of the phone calls that he has no idea that we know about. The ones where he'll spend an hour and a half on the phone with Robert Price, just talking about his business, what's been going on. The hour he spends with Noah King, just checking in on him. Is everything okay? Offering support, being a friend. This is what I'm so proud of, is that we have this connection going on inside the group where there's leaders stepping up, like Danny Herman, where I find out he's spending hours on his own StreamYard account, calling sellers live and allowing other people to come on there, and he's coaching them on how to comp and underwrite, whether or not it's a deal and whether or not they should close it or not. Just helping each other. It's grown to so much more than just RJ and Cassie talking about the closers formula or the web formula. It's truly grown into something larger than we could have ever anticipated. So I made this video today, not only to show you guys some of these testimonials that people have made for us, but to also to ask you, who do you have in your corner? Who's there to support you? Sure, maybe you have someone that's there to educate you, but who is there showing up every single day? Like I do, Cassie does, Nick does, Justin, Garrett do. We're there every single day on the implementation calls, hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours, however long it takes to make sure we answer every single question that our community has. We do the comp reviews. You have a question about how to comp and underwrite a deal, give it to us. The same day we give you a response. But outside of us and what you're paying for from Titanium, that actual community, the other people, the leaders like the John Looneys and the JWs and the Galens and the Jason Stricklands and the Danny Hermans, you also have all of us in your corner every single day, making sure that you can create your own reality. It's more than just contracts and closings. That's why we say we're tough. TUF, Titanium University Family, because that's what it's actually become. Is it that way for every single member? No. Some people came in and they got what they needed, and they're very rarely on implementation calls or making this deeper connection. But many people, they sought this out. Like, this is what they needed. This is why we have stories inside the group about how people have gotten rid of addiction in their life, whether it was drugs or alcohol or whatever it was. Now they have decided to become a better person because of the other people inside the community. They saw that there was a different way to live their life. I had no idea that when we started this, that was even a possibility. I'm just supposed to talk about how to talk to sellers, how to close deals and make a lot of money. But now we have people saying, you changed my life for the better. I got rid of doing drugs after 20 years. I don't do that anymore. So I want to be better. And because of that, I'm creating my own reality. And yeah, I'm closing deals. We've had people break down and cry about the past that they had, the history, that baggage that they were carrying for years, that they didn't know if they were going to be able to overcome that. By being inside of TU and surrounding themselves with the right people, they now can move past that baggage that has always been holding them back. And they look at it and say, I'm becoming the person that I want to be. So you look at yourself and you look around your atmosphere, your surroundings, the people that you spend the majority of your time with. Is it leading you to success? Is it going to lead you to the place to where You're so much more than that baggage or that history or that addiction. Or maybe you just need someone there to talk to on a daily basis that's doing the exact same thing as you. Being an entrepreneur is one of the loneliest things in the world to do, because the majority of people in your life are not going to be entrepreneurs, and they're not going to understand how crazy you are. So being in a community of nothing but entrepreneurs, guess what? You're not crazy anymore. You can talk to them about all the things that you have to face on a daily basis. So yes, going back to my original intention of this video, if you've made it this far, I want you inside of Titanium University. Not because I want to show you how to get contracts and closings. We will do that. Guaranteed. We show you how to do that. It's up to you to take the action. It's up to you to develop the skill sets, put in the reps, and do the training. But if you do that, the results will follow. It's inevitable. I want you there because I want you to be able to truly create your own reality. I want you to be in an atmosphere where you feel like you could do anything that you want to do. So yes, I want each and every one of you to be a part of Titanium University. If you're ready to join now, leave me a comment and say, I'm ready. We'll get you in there. Appreciate you guys. It's a while since I just did a video where I was just straight pissed off. And today, I shouldn't be angry, but I am. I'm angry because I've got so many people inside of TU winning. But I know that there's people that aren't. And that upsets me. I don't want anyone left behind. I want everyone that comes on board, everyone that watch content, everyone that takes the closers formula, titanium profits, all of the things that we have to offer. I want you guys to win. I want you to be able to have the reality that you want for yourself. So if as we go through this video today, if you feel like I'm speaking directly towards you, I am. This video is made for you. Now, let's start off with the good side of things. Sergio has been inside of TU for a while now. He just had a baby girl a few days ago. And he just shared that February was his best month inside of his business. He made $105,000 in February on 3 deals. Here's the reason why I'm sharing this with you. These 3 deals were quite possibly in 3 of the worst locations I've ever seen someone make $105,000. One was Fairbanks, Alaska. If you've never done a deal in Alaska, that's saying something. He did a deal in Keokuk, Iowa. I don't even know if that's how you say it. It's Keokuk. We're going with Keokuk, I guess, Iowa. And then he did a deal in Charleston, West Virginia. So we got rural Iowa, basically the North Pole in Alaska, and Charleston, West Virginia, which West Virginia is one of the worst states for wholesaling. But as I'm reading the breakdown of these deals, he writes in here solutions that he had to offer, how he really earned the $105,000. I had to step in and support the owner by covering $1,000 in utility and oil bills to protect the property. The power had been shut off. The oil tank was empty, and with Fairbanks hitting negative temperatures, damage was a real risk. I also helped coordinate a moving company and cover 2 months of a storage unit to make the transition easier for the seller. Inside of the Iowa wholesale deal, he said the owner had previously been under contract with another buyer for about 2 months, and they flat fee listed the property and wasted her time. After about 20 cold calls, he was able to successfully dispo the deal. inside of Charleston, West Virginia. He said, when I first locked it up, I expected this to be a simple novation. But he had to give me a credit. He had to pay the agent's commission. He turned it into a smooth deal. Long story short, he was able to successfully move this deal in Charleston, West Virginia by converting it over to a novation. This is beautiful, and I'm so happy for you, Sergio. I'm proud of you. Congratulations on your baby girl. But I see other people. They come inside of the implementation calls. They'll privately DM me and then reach out and they'll say, RJ, I see other people winning, but I'm not. And they want help. They want to understand why it's not working for them. And this upsets me because I look at it and I say, I don't think Sergio has any sort of skill set or natural God-given talent that someone else doesn't have. I've said this for years, that I was not given natural sales skills or this innate ability to comp and underwrite correctly and know how to move deals. The only thing that I can point back to is that I looked at failure and I said, F off. You're not going to keep me from the life that I want. And I never comprehended giving up. It was always, what are we going to do to solve the current problem that exists in front of us to keep going, to get to today? So if you're finding yourself in a situation where you're not getting what you want, are you sitting there and are you constantly talking about the problems that are keeping you from the life that you want? Or are you always talking about the solutions that you're going to be implementing inside of your life to get the life that you want? That's why I'm pissed off. Because I look at people and they say they have problems, and I get it. You've got the script down. You can tell me all of the bad things that are happening. Here's the thing. We all have stories. We all have bad things that take place in our life. Your situation is not unique to only you. I know it feels like it is right now, but trust me, there's someone out there right now in a worse position than you that's going to find a way to come up with a solution to be in a better position than you a year from now. Unless you make the decision that that's not going to happen, that you're not going to fall victim to your story. You have to wake up every day and make a decision that you are going to do everything inside of your power, all of the actions necessary to make sure that you change the trajectory of where you're headed in your business. And when I see people, they end up in these bad situations in their business, and it's inevitable. Being an entrepreneur is hard. I've said this for years. It's a lonely place. And you want support. You want help. You want someone to be there. But you don't turn the lights on. You don't ask for help. You don't talk to anybody. Specifically, speaking to any TU member that's currently struggling. Where's the post? Where's the live seller call review? Where's the comp reviews? Why are you not utilizing the resources that exist around you, yet you're in such a bad place that you're desperate for help? I don't think you're desperate enough. Even if you're in the free vault or just a subscriber on this YouTube channel, if you're in a bad place, are you turning the lights on? Are you telling people that you're in a bad place, that you need support, that you need help? This is your opportunity. Turn the lights on. Just leave a comment on this video. Say, I'm in a bad place. This is what's going on. But here's what I want you to end it with. What is the solution to the problem? What are you going to do differently today than you did yesterday? Because otherwise, you're just falling victim to your own story. And that's pathetic. And trust me, I'm saying this from a place of love and care and concern, but also experience. I put myself in horrible positions as an entrepreneur. Absolutely horrible positions. Positions that looked overwhelmingly daunting. Like, no, there's no way in the world we're going to survive this. We found a way. Not by saying, here's the solution that's going to get us out of the hole completely. It's the daily actions that we take. If we do this one step at a time, every single day, and we're consistently showing up, and we don't ever talk about giving up and quitting and going back to something else that we wanted to rid ourselves of, that previous life, either if it's working at a job, answering to someone else, getting back into bad habits, whatever that looks like for you in your story, we never even contemplated that. We stay laser focused on the steps that we were going to take every single day. You guys go watch the 50-50-50 back in 2020. That was the daily steps that we were taking to dig ourselves out of the hole. You guys watched the 2023 50-50-50. That was, again, our daily steps that we were taking to dig ourselves out of the bad place that we were in. We basically destroyed our wholesale operation to go be on a TV show, to go flip houses, ignore our hedgehog concept, and go out there and say, we're going to flip houses so we can be TV stars and we can reach the masses. And when we got fired from the TV show, we had to come back to the realization that the wholesale operation was in shambles. The 2023 50-50-50 was us digging ourselves out of that. Myself sitting right here at this desk, in this location, calling sellers all day, every single day for 8 hours a day. But not sitting there and looking at the negative side of things and feeling sorry for myself and saying, woe is me. No, I had to get over that. I had to say, this is my life. This is my one chance. Am I going to literally sit here and feel sorry for myself because I got fired from a TV show? Jamil Damji said it the best. Who cares that you got fired from a TV show? You had the opportunity to be on national television. No one can ever take that away from you. Here's the thing. You guys have the opportunity right now to control your destiny, to be an entrepreneur. No one can take that away from you. You have the opportunity right now to go out, call a motivated seller, get that property under contract, call an in buyer, and make a spread. And do that repeatedly. Do you have to get good at comping and underwriting? How to talk to sellers? Do you have to consistently do lead generation? Do you have to understand how to do dispositions and transaction coordination? Yes, you do. That's why you're watching my videos. Unfortunately, today, I don't get to talk about any of those things because I have to break your fucking brain and tell you to get out of your feels and get back to taking actions, steps to get back into creating your own reality within your business that you started. This is your opportunity. No one is going to feel sorry for you. No one. That's a fact. You have to wake up today and make the decision. I'm going to pick the phone up as many times as I had to pick the phone up to get a property under contract. And whatever that a number is, however many sellers you think you are calling, that is a solid amount, you need to do it about 10 times more, probably. You need to buckle down and work harder than you've ever worked today if you're in a bad place. But what I see more often than not is that the work actually slows down, and we want to blame it on the negative situation. The negative situation. Put it to the wayside. The only way you're actually going to solve it is by going out and getting properties under contract and making money. Prove the concept. Prove it to yourself, because I guarantee you, you are not bought all in on the fact that this is what you want to do for your life. You hope it is. You hope that it works. No one gives a shit about your hopes. You have to go out and get results. That's it. So again, If you think this video is about you, it is. I made this video specifically for you. Because I've been there. I sat here staring at the walls and going, what have I done? I worked all these years to get to this point, and then I killed my business. And I felt that way multiple times. This is why I preach what I preach over and over and over again. And now I'm yelling it at you guys. I focus on my headshot concept. I'm a nationwide virtual wholesaler. Anything outside of that, the answer is no. We make sure that we're talking to sellers every single day. We make sure that we're talking to buyers and building true relationships with our end buyers. So when we get a property under contract to dispose like this, we don't need the systems. We have the relationships. It took us years to get to there. People want to know, how do you get there? Every single day, showing up, taking the actions, not feeling sorry for myself. When things don't work out, when I have to sit at termination, it's okay. It's part of the business. It's to be expected. If you're a great wholesaler, you're still going to terminate about 30% of your contracts. So if you've had 3 properties under contract and you've terminated 3, go get you 7 more, close all 7, and you're right on par for where you need to be. 70% contract to close ratio. But you stopped and you said the math's not working out, RJ. It's because you're new. You didn't know any better. You didn't know how to comp and underwrite. You probably didn't even know what was a deal and what wasn't a deal. We went through the exact same thing in 2014. I got properties under contract. I got my teeth kicked in. Bell Place, Fort Worth, Texas. I'll never forget it. I thought it was a banger of a deal. And I got my teeth kicked in, and I got educated by end buyers that told me, son, you don't know what you're talking about. This property was built in the 1920s. Do you know what kind of rehab this is going to need? And I said, my calculator. And they said, F your calculator. Real life tells us this is going to take $125,000 to rehab. But my calculator told me it was going to take $50,000. I was wrong. I didn't give up. That's why I'm still here today. So maybe you went out and you underwrote a property incorrectly. You got your teeth kicked in. What did you learn from it? What did you do immediately after you got off the phone with that buyer who told you your numbers were incorrect? Did you learn? Did you change your behaviors and your actions? Did you realize that the calculator is not the end-all be-all, but you have to develop skill sets? You actually have to listen and learn how to underwrite deals and figure it out for yourself. A tool is only good as the person using the tool. This is where I want you guys focused. Baby steps every single day, getting that 1% better, winning the day, taking that necessary action, but eliminating the fact that you're feeling sorry about where you are today. You're too focused on the present and not focused on what you are doing inside the present to get you to a better future. So yes, I'm extremely proud of all of the wins that I'm seeing inside of Titanium University. I'm extremely proud of seeing people from the free content inside the vault and on my YouTube channel where I see guys saying, dude, RJ, watching your videos, I've gotten this many deals under contract. RJ, I bought the King Closers war chest and I've made $100,000. That's amazing. But I want that from each and every one of you. That's why I bring you videos every single day. I don't have to do this. I do this because I want to change y'all's lives. All of you. It's my purpose. It's what I want to do. Feel like I was called to do this. So yeah, when I see people struggling, I look at it and I say, maybe some of you will look at this and say, I don't like the way he talked to me. That's okay. I'm going to say it anyways. Someone has to be the one that tells you you're the only one that can change the results that you're getting inside of your business. I can show you how to talk to sellers, where to get the leads, how to comp and under. I can show you everything, which we already have, and we'll keep doing it every single day. But at some point in time, you have to be the one that makes the decision that you are going to take the necessary steps every single day, just like we did in 2020, just like we did in 2023, and just like we do every single day here in 2025. It's hard, man. It's hard because I know that if you guys put in the necessary actions and you utilize all of the resources that we provide, and I get it. We try our damnedest to turn on the lights as best as we possibly can. There's links in every single video, PDFs out the ass that we give you guys. YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, TikToks, Facebook group, written blog posts, emails. We try our damnedest to show you every possible way, to show you what we have done to be able to win inside of this industry. I want that for you guys. Sometimes I feel like I want it a little bit more than maybe you guys want it. But at the end of the day, I cannot show up at your office or at your house and make you pick up the phone and come up with the solutions like Sergio did, where he says, I'll pay the oil bill. I'll make sure the heat gets turned on so the pipes don't burst. I'll convert this deal over to Innovation in West Virginia. I'll cold call buyers in rural Iowa so I can make $105,000 while his wife was 9 months pregnant. That's why he got those results. He found a way. He went and solved problems, and he won. He had plenty of excuses to make. Guaranteed. Because we all do. There's always a reason why I couldn't have done what I did today. I just make a choice every single day that I am not going to be a victim to my excuses, but I'm going to be a product of the choices that I make. And because of that, the results follow. Which one are you going to be? So I gave you multiple options on here. You can leave me a comment about whatever problems you've got going on. You can lean on me. You can tell me all the problems and all the excuses. But if you leave that comment, here's what I ask in return. Tell me what solution you are going to provide for yourself to get yourself out of that situation. Baby steps, 1%. That's all we're looking for. I hope this video made a difference for just at least one person. And like I said, that's you. This video was made directly for you.
What's up, everybody? You know I love a good analogy. So today we're going to be using one in regards to golfing and wholesale and real estate. Two of my most favorite things in this earth. And the reason why is because, well, one, I feed my family with wholesaling, and for enjoyment, I love going and play golf. In fact, I play almost every other day, every single day. I mean, I try to get out here as much as possible. So, as much as I've played lately, I've seen the similarities between the two. And so as I play this hole today, I'm going to be breaking down all the important facets of golfing in comparison to wholesale and real estate. For example, you have to have a great shot off of the tee, just like you have to have good lead generation inside of your wholesaling business. It's the foundation for everything that we do. See, if I try to crank this ball and I hit it up in these houses on the left, I'm screwed. It's game over. Just like if you pick really bad lead generation like cold calling or direct mail, well, it's going to be a grind. It's going to be hard. But nowadays, we have things like PPL, speed lead, property leads, lead Zolo. It's become easier to talk to just motivated sellers. Just like nowadays we have technology when it comes to golf where we have more forgiving clubs. It should make it easier for me. So today we're going to be playing the 18th hole at the Resort Golf Club here in Fort Worth, Texas. It's a par 5. It's 500 yards, and yes, I'm hitting off of the blues, not the tips for all of you keyboard warriors. But as we play along today, just know today's episode is sponsored by Happy Gilmore 2, coming out on Netflix on July 25th. See what I can do. Oh yeah, baby. Right in the middle. That's like emergency reasons, vacant non-occupied house, full gut, needs everything, needs to sell ASAP lead. Oh yeah, that's what that was. Let's see what we can do with it. Now, as important as lead generation is, because it's the foundation for our wholesaling business, acquisitions is the heartbeat of our wholesaling business, just like your approach shot is the heartbeat for your golf game. Now, our drive landed here, we're 240 yards out. So we hit a 260-yard drive. Not bad, not quite warmed up yet, but we're in the middle of the fairway, so we've got a decent lead, right? Now it's all about our approach / acquisitions. See, inside of our wholesale business, we can have the greatest leads in the world, but if we don't close them, nothing matters. This is why I teach so often about the closer's formula, how to ask the right questions, and realistically, how do you close the deals or the leads that maybe you shouldn't close, right? The ones where the sellers want full retail. They want too much, but there is that underlying motivation. That's what we focus on here at Titanium. Well, in golf, see, you could have a great drive, 260 yards right in the middle of the fairway, but my approach shot is the most important one. See, without this, I'm nothing. If I shank this into the houses or I slice it into the water, my hole's over. And honestly, probably my entire round. Now, I could play smart, but I'm a closer. So I pulled out the 3-wood. We're going to try to get this as close as possible to the green. Let's see what happens here. All right, in typical king closer fashion, our approach shot hooked left, hit a tree, and landed 94 yards short of the green. Well, we got the contract, baby. See, this is what happens in acquisitions. Sometimes things aren't going to go perfect, right? And that brings us to the next phase: transaction coordination, recon, renegotiations, all right? Inside of our wholesale business, we expect closers to be perfect on their analysis. And I tell people all the time, shooters shoot. Just like back there. Should I have been hitting a 3-wood? Probably not. I probably should have laid up, but what would have happened if I laid up? I would have been 100 yards short. I went for it. About 20% of the time, I'll land on the green and I'll have an eagle putt. But on this time, I'm just a little bit short, and I'm right where I would be if I always laid up. In acquisitions, you got to do the same thing. Take that chance. When you've got that opportunity to get the signed contract, get the signed contract. So now we're in phase 3. All right, we've got to get the pictures. We've got to reanalyze the deal. We've got to see where do the numbers actually look like. Then we've got to make sure, can we get clear title, right? Transaction coordination. Can we make sure that this deal is closable? And that's my job right here. See, chipping, your short game. This is where you could either make or break a round. Now, this is something I've been working on a lot over the past year because, quite frankly, a year ago when I started playing golf, I was horrible at this. And quite frankly, it's still my weakest part of the game. Let's see what I can do here from 94 yards out. All right, so after 3 shots, we're on the green and we've got a putt. And putting is dispositions. See, without dispositions, we don't get paid as wholesalers. And it's honestly the most overlooked skill set that you need to develop inside of your wholesaling business. Building that relationship with your end buyers so you can actually close deals repeatedly over and over and over again. I always say this: I don't want to sell 1 deal to an end buyer. I want to sell 200 deals to an end buyer. Same thing in golf. See, now I'm on the green. My job is to 2-putt from here. Maybe I get lucky and run this in for birdie, but the goal here is to run this in 2 putts, get a solid offer on my first showing, and move from there. That's what you guys got to do on dispositions. Go to that known buyer that you know buys in that area, that has bought properties from you before, get that offer, and leverage it with your other buyers and see how much money you can make. So let's see if I can run this in from about, I don't know, 35 feet. It's multiple offers from our end buyers. Now we just got to pick the one that we want to do multiple business with. Boom. We'll take a par on a par 5 for 500 out. Listen, guys, at the end of the day, playing golf, wholesaling, there's a lot of similarities. You can make a lot of money wholesaling real estate. Just got to stick to the fundamentals. And if you play golf as often as I do, you can still suck, but every now and then get par on a par 5. 7 years ago, in a lowly, ugly dungeon of a basement in Bedford, Texas, 4 friends who played a game called Dominion regularly decided, let's create our own game. And from that moment, we started the journey of creating Goblins and Glory. Yes, that is officially a real thing as of today. 7 years ago, as we were playing Dominion and having a good time, we had decided that we had pretty much played every version of Dominion that we could possibly play. And so, what else could we do? As any entrepreneur does, I threw out the idea, let's create our own game. And so we started. The next time we got together, we started by playing a game on pieces of notebook paper that we tore apart, and we started throwing numbers down because we had no artwork, we had no names, we had no idea of what it would eventually look like. And over the past 7 years of creation, we have created characters, artwork, and done a lot of math to make sure that we have created what we feel like is a really fun game to play. And so I always talk about create your own reality. This is one of those versions of me creating my own reality with some friends and creating something that I never thought I was meant to do. Create a deck building strategy game with goblins and knights and wizards and orcs and dragons, but it exists today. And so in this video, I wanted to announce that Goblins of Glory is actually a real product that can be purchased, but I'm also going to ask for your support by going to our Kickstarter campaign and supporting us today that goes live at midnight, and purchase one of the packages, whether it's just getting a copy of the game or if you want some more nerd shit like t-shirts or the opportunity to hang out with us and play the game live in Dallas, Texas, you can do that. But we need your support because otherwise this 7-year journey of us creating this game will go all for naught. So I'm asking for your support to follow and purchase on the Kickstarter campaign, but also to enjoy this game. Like, we're nerds at heart. I love comic books, I love fantasy, and I love deck building games, and this has been an awesome experience. So I can't wait for you guys to try the game out. And so without further ado, I want to show you guys our how to play the game. But check out the Kickstarter campaign and support us. And I hope you enjoy Goblins and Glory as much as we enjoyed creating it.
Hello and welcome to the gameplay tutorial for Goblins and Glory. Before you can start your game, you must choose the cards you will be using. You can use any number of heroes, armor, weapons, and skills when creating your layout. If you're not familiar with the mechanics of the game, there is a risk that you could create an imbalanced layout. So I would recommend starting with one of our pre-made layouts listed on page 14 of our instruction manual. For this tutorial, I will be using the first game pre-made layout. For a faster first game, I recommend not playing with dragons, but I'll be including them for the tutorial. Each player is given 7 power-up cards and 3 goblin cards as their starting deck. Shuffle these 10 cards together to create your draw pile and draw the top 5 cards into your hand. Once each player has their first hand drawn, each player in turn recruits a hero to their play area. This hero is recruited for free, but future heroes must be recruited with XP. Each player may recruit a total of 3 heroes to their team. For this tutorial, I'm going to recruit the Archer hero. Looking at my starting hand, I had very bad luck and drew all 3 of the Goblin cards in my deck and only 2 power-up cards. This might set some heroes back for a turn, but my Archer has a base power of 3, which will help quite a bit in a situation like this. I play my 2 power-ups on my Archer for a combined power of 5, which is enough to defeat an Orc monster. Now I have to choose to collect the Orc as XP or as glory. Since it's so early in the game, I choose to collect the Orc as XP, placing it in my XP bar below my heroes in my play area. I can use XP to gain other cards to help me fight more powerful monsters. Now that I have completed my attack, I discard all cards played on my Archer to the discard pile and continue my turn. At this point, I have to make a decision. Do I spend my XP now or save up for more powerful cards? I could spend the 2 XP I earned from the Orc I defeated to buy Mithril Armor. This is a powerful armor card that gives the equipped hero 2 more power and also allows me to draw 2 cards when I play it on a hero. Alternatively, I could choose to save the XP I just earned to purchase a more powerful equipment card or to recruit my second hero once I gain more XP. For this tutorial, I'm going to purchase the Mithril Armor now, which I place in my discard pile. I return the Orc card to the supply after spending my XP. You can purchase any number of cards with a single buy action, but you cannot make change. For example, you could use a Minotaur to purchase a Mithril Armor, but since the Minotaur is worth 3 XP, the 1 extra XP is wasted. I recommend trying to have the right amount of XP so you don't waste any. However, there may be times when getting the right card in the right situation is worth losing the extra XP. Since I don't currently have any other heroes, I can't make more attacks. I already spent my XP to gain a new card and don't have any other cards I can play from my hand. Stupid goblins. So I'm ready to end my turn. I discard any remaining cards in my hand and draw 5 new cards. This ends my turn and passes play to the next player. At this stage of the game, the turns will be relatively fast and simple, but let's take a look at a more complicated turn later in the game. My Archer hero has served me well and helped me gain enough XP to recruit a second hero. I chose the Barbarian, who gains more benefit from power-up cards than other heroes. At the end of my last turn, I had some bad luck since I drew 2 of my Goblin cards again. However, I also drew my Mithril Armor card, which will help me out. I started out by equipping my Archer with the Mithril Armor, which allows me to draw 2 more cards. I draw 2 more power-up cards for a total of 4. My Barbarian gets twice the power from power-up cards as other heroes. If I play all 4 on him, I'll be at a total power of 8, which is great, but also a little frustrating because it's more than what I need to defeat an Orc, but not enough to defeat a Minotaur. Let's see what I can do. My Archer is at 5 power now that he has the Mithril Armor equipped, so I choose to fight and defeat an Orc. I collect the Orc as XP and discard all cards on my Archer to the discard pile. I think I can give my Barbarian the boost he needs with a Scavenged Sword. I purchase a Scavenged Sword, which, according to the card text, allows me to gain it to my hand instead of the discard pile. I play the Scavenged Sword immediately and all 4 of my power-up cards onto the Barbarian, which puts him at a combined power of 12. This is enough to defeat a Minotaur, which I collect as XP. Unfortunately, I have to abandon the Scavenged Sword after attacking with it, which means I have to return it to the supply instead of discarding it. I discard the rest of my cards on the Barbarian and am ready to end my turn. I discard any remaining cards in my hand and draw 5 new cards from the draw pile, which ends my turn and passes play to the next player. Now let's take a look at a much later turn in the game. I've been fighting monsters, recruiting heroes, and buying equipment to make them all stronger. I have my trusty Archer, my aggressive Barbarian, and I've rounded out my team with a Bard. Once again, I've had some bad luck and drew all 3 of my Goblin cards. I also drew one of my strongest cards, Power Attack, but it needs a weapon equipped with it to be most effective. Let's see what I can do. The Bard lets me start my turn by drawing 3 extra cards and then discarding 1 card from my hand. I get to draw the 3 cards first, which means I can choose any of the 8 cards in my hand to discard. Let's get rid of one of these pesky goblins. I didn't draw a weapon card with my Bard, but I did draw Mithril Armor, which you're already familiar with. I play Mithril Armor on my Archer like before, which lets me draw 2 more cards. Thank goodness, I drew a weapon card to make my power attack stronger. The Claymore is a powerful weapon that requires 2 power-up cards to also be equipped on that hero in order to attack. I have the perfect hero in this situation because my Barbarian wants as many power-up cards as I can get. I played Claymore, which gives 6 power, Power Attack, which gives 4 base power and an additional 4 power because I have a weapon equipped, and all 4 power-ups worth 2 power each because of my Barbarian's special ability. This puts my Barbarian's total power at 22, which is almost enough to defeat a dragon. I was originally planning to use my Archer to defeat an Orc in order to purchase more equipment, but who would pass up the opportunity to defeat the strongest monster in the game? I had my Barbarian and Archer attack together for a total power of 27, which is 1 more than I needed to defeat the dragon's 26 power. While I could technically choose to add the dragon to my XP bar, I generally encourage players to add dragons to your deck for glory. After all, the point of the game is to obtain more glory than the other players, and each dragon is worth 7 glory by itself. Now that a dragon has been defeated, or a stone golem if you're not playing with dragons, players are allowed to recruit a 4th hero to their teams. This will give you even more opportunities to kill the powerful monsters and gain glory. Once the last dragon has been defeated, the last round has been triggered, which allows any remaining players to take their turn to finish the round. At this point, the game is over. Each player adds up the glory value of all of their monster cards in their deck. Monster cards that are still in your XP area are not added to this total. The player with the most glory at the end of the game wins. I hope that this tutorial has given you a good idea of how our game is played. There are other examples of play on page 5 of the instruction manual, as well as a glossary of common terms on page 13. We've provided a more robust description of each card starting on page 7 to help clarify how a card works. Thank you for joining me today, and please enjoy Goblins and Glory.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the King Closers Formula. I am the King Closer, RJ Bates III, coming to you live today on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon at 2:22 p.m. I'm excited to cover today's topic. But before we do that, who we got with us today? Drop a comment of where you're coming in, where you're tuning in. Let's get into today's topic.
The fuck just happened? Where am I?
I see you have lied to us, the man of the people, Mr. Real, Raw, and Transparent. You aren't live, are you?
I mean, technically, no, I'm not live. I pre-recorded this video because I'm in California, but every Tuesday at 2:22 we go live. So, I mean, we just, we scheduled it to go live.
I see. Well, we're gonna play a little game. This game's called Truth or Lie. It's simple. I read you a statement and you tell me if it is a lie or if it is true. If you lie to us, you will be stripped of your title as King Closer and remain trapped in this screen forever.
Man, this whole content creation thing got real serious, real fast. I'm gonna lose my title as King Closer and be trapped in this black abyss forever. Truth or lie? All right, I'm down. I can tell the truth. I mean, except for when I go live.
Okay then. First, truth or lie. Speed to Lead gives you special leads when you go live.
That's a lie. Okay. Speed to Lead does not give me special leads. I've heard this theory before, typically from people that don't know how to close. So no, that's a lie. I go in, I actually purchase the leads live. I've shared my screen. I've shown how I purchased those leads. They're available for anyone. I mean, literally, while I am live, you could be purchasing the exact same leads as me. I think the only reason why this has ever been said is because everyone else that competes against me never goes live and closes sellers. So they have to make up a story. So, no, it's a lie.
Truth or lie? You have protected someone's equity with white gloves before.
I protected some. That's a lie. I've never actually done it. I have done what's called a novation, but I've never actually put on white gloves and walked in and magically protected their equity. I don't know why we started making up names in this industry for just simple things that already had a name. It's like me. I'm RJ. I'm not going to suddenly change my name to Robert John. I'm RJ. So that's a lie. I've done a novation, but I've never actually protected someone's equity with white gloves.
Truth or lie? Belly-to-belly appointments are easier to close than virtually on the phone.
That's a truth. That is a truth. If you are face-to-face with the seller, there is a different level of credibility and rapport that you can build. You can actually see the condition of the property. One of the biggest issues that sellers have with signing a contract with someone virtually is you haven't seen the property. You're going to want to renegotiate the price. How do I know you're real? How do I know you're legitimate? All of those questions really get answered with the in-person appointments. That being said, I can still close more deals virtually than someone that does belly-to-belly appointments because of the efficiency of my business. And so even though it's harder to do virtual over belly-to-belly, I still would rather do that because I can get so many more dials in, and if I can develop my skill sets, I can close more deals. So that's a truth. Belly-to-belly is easier, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to make more money.
Truth or lie? If the seller wants close to retail, you should offer creative financing.
That's a lie. First of all, what the fuck is creative financing? Like, someone asked me the other day, hey, can I get a creative finance contract? No, because it doesn't fucking exist. Like, what is it? Are you buying it subject to? Are you doing seller finance? Are you doing a novation? Are you doing a hybrid between sub to and seller finance? What is creative finance? So, should you offer creative finance just because they want close to retail? No, because exit strategy determines your acquisition strategy. All creative finance is a way for you to acquire the deal. So whether or not you're buying it subject to the existing mortgage or they're financing or whatever you're doing, you need to understand what the exit is for either yourself or the end buyer. And then that determines how you acquire the property. Just because they want too much money doesn't mean you offer that as a solution. So, no, it's a lie.
Truth or lie? PPL is expensive compared to other lead generation options.
Ooh, let's go lie. Let's go lie. And here's the reason why. There are budget items out there in the PPO world. We have Speed to Leads Coupon Club. We have Lead Zolo coming out with a new budget item. I've heard rumors it's going to be like $35, $40 for an exclusive lead. Listen, at the end of the day, direct mail's always been the most expensive. And sometimes we have a tendency to forget when we're looking at our budgets. And we say cold calling is the most cost effective. Because we say, okay, we're going to pull these lists, and then we're going to skip trace, and then we're going to hire a VA, or maybe we'll just cold call ourselves, and we just need a dialer, and I can do that for cheaper than PPO. What about the opportunity cost? What about the amount of hours that you sit there looking like Steve Trang's ass, just getting your teeth kicked in all fucking day with no results? What about the opportunity loss? What is more expensive? Give me $25, $29 leads and I get a contract and I make $15,000, or I sit there and I get my reps in cold calling and I never fucking close a deal. Yeah, no, we're gonna go lie. I'll take PPO.
Truth or lie? You have used a fake underwriter before.
Man, I don't really like where this game's going. I don't know who you are, but you're a bastard. Okay? It's truth. You used a fake underwriter one time. One time I did it, and I just did it to show how stupid it is. How ridiculously dumb it was. I talked to a highly motivated seller, and that woman, I could not solve her problem because I had to sit there and pretend that Billy the Kid was the problem solver, the decision maker. She hung up on me. She never answered the phone. She never called me back. And she probably got fucked over by some wholesaler that filed a memorandum on her house. Yeah, I use a fake underwriter. It's ridiculously stupid. I hate it. Literally, it's one of the worst things that's ever been introduced to our industry. And I will argue with anyone that believes in doing that bullshit. So, yes, it's the truth. I have done it, but it was for educational purposes only, and that is the truth.
Truth or lie? You can wholesale a property that needs little to no work.
Truth. Yeah. I mean, what is wholesaling? Wholesaling is we are getting a property for a discount, and then we are selling it to an end buyer so that they can either make a profit or keep it with equity and or cash flow. So there's never been a need for the property to be physically distressed. Of course, that helps. It helps us find people that would be motivated to sell a property for a discount, of course. But when you scroll on Instagram and you're just trying to find how do I wholesale, you'll see all of these reels or people say, you go find a house that looks like this. And it's like the ugliest house ever. And it's like, well, yeah, that could be the one that you wholesale. But we have wholesaled hundreds of houses that were in next to perfect condition because of a financial distress element, or maybe the property was inherited by the sellers and they just want to get rid of it. In fact, one of the best strategies that you could do right now, specifically in virtual wholesaling, is to get a property in pretty decent condition and then wholesale it to someone that specializes in wholesaling, like a Travis Wells. Hey, I want it at 70% below market value, and I want to be able to make a minimum of $30,000 as long as it closes in less than 60 days. Boom, it's a great deal.
Truth or lie? You don't need to know how to comp and underwrite, just lowball.
Yeah, it's a lie. I hate the term lowball. I don't know where it came from. And this whole theory that we don't need to know how to comp and underwrite, and we could just take like Zillow's estimates and Redfin estimates and all this and just throw it in there, or just look and say, hey, we're in a $200,000 neighborhood, offer $50,000. If we do that enough times, some shit will stick against the wall. Sure, yeah, that might happen. We call that the highly motivated, right price sellers. That's about 1% of the sellers that you'll talk to on inbound leads. So it's few and far between. It's not really a sustainable business model, so that's a lie.
Truth or lie, you need to have a multiple step process when trying to close a seller.
Oh, yeah, that's a lie. I mean, listen, when you're on the phone with sellers, your intention should be to close the deal. To close. That's what closers close. If someone told me, RJ, you're going to call these sellers and you're going to have 3 steps, I'm going to be honest with you, I would not work for that person. I would look at them and I would say, you're a damn fool. I'm not going to do that, because when I talk to sellers, I'm there to solve the problem. The one thing that makes them skittish and feel like you can't solve their problem is when you say, I got to get off the phone and I got to figure out how to be a problem solver. Like, no, I'm a fucking expert. I don't need to go talk to anyone else. I don't need any time. I do this all day long and I know exactly how to do it. So for the people that go out there and they teach this multiple step process, it's fucking bullshit and we don't need it. You just need to train people better. You need to train people on how to comp, underwrite, understand the exit strategies, understand the acquisition strategies, and know how to close. If you know how to do that, well, that's how you earn the title of King Closer.
Truth or lie, you need to buy mentorship to succeed in wholesaling.
That's a lie. You don't need to buy mentorship. There's been plenty of people out there that have succeeded in the wholesaling industry without having a mentor. And listen, the education's out there for free. You don't need to give me a fucking penny to learn everything that I teach. You can go watch my YouTube videos just like you're watching right now. Thousands of them every single day. I mean, we are literally pumping out shit every day, so you don't need to pay me. Now, if you want to fast forward the process, figure out answers to your questions on a daily basis, understand how to truly implement the education that we're providing to you, then you need to hire a mentor. That will fast forward the process, but no, you don't need to hire one. And I think it comes down to your personality type. Like, do you want to sit there and learn from someone else? Or are you more of the type of person that will take action, fail, come up with solutions, and then implement that solution and learn on your own? If that's the case, you probably definitely don't need a mentor.
Truth or lie, Closers Olympics was rigged and your belts hold no weight and carry no water.
Oh, yeah, that's a lie for sure. You know, I've seen this. Every time someone mentions my name on a podcast or on YouTube videos or whatever, it gets sent to me hundreds of times, and I love it. You know, I've seen, Pace has said stuff, Jamil said stuff, Eric Klein, he's obsessed. Tiffany, she dreams about me at night. I get it. These people, they care so much about the fact that I won a competition that they were too afraid to even compete in. And then they want to say it was faked and it was rigged because I won it twice. Well, the only time it was faked and rigged was the first year when Carlos Reyes was the judge, and then he literally cheated so his brother-in-law and acquisitions manager could win it. That's verified. That's not theory, okay? It's like verified, that actually happened. The next 2 times, it wasn't faked and rigged. In fact, 2023, when I was going for back-to-back, I got the worst position you could get on Saturday. I was calling at Saturday night at like 7 p.m. And I actually got asked, RJ, I know that we did the spinning of the wheel. Do you want to move it up so you're in a better time so we don't screw you over? And I said, no. What's fair is for me to call in the worst position. I'm okay with it because I trusted my training and the reps and the skills that I've developed over the years. So I said, no, I don't want that. I got the same types of leads as everybody else. There was nothing that was rigged about it. The scoring was valid. The contracts were real. I dispoed the deals using Investor Lift with Eric's best friend, Bobby Winsley, live. And I still get told it's fake. Now, as far as the belts not carrying any weight or water or whatever it is that they say, why do you care so much? Why do you care about me? Unless I'm impacting you and your business in a negative way. My suggestion would be, stop worrying about me, start worrying about yourself. Do this, be better. If you're better, you wouldn't give a shit about what wrestling belts I wear, whatever competitions I compete in, and the invitation is always open. To any of you that want to talk trash all the time, you can come compete whenever you want. Invitation.
Well. You have been deemed worthy to keep your title as King Closer and return to the land of wholesaling.
Okay, so it feels good. The fact that apparently I was a liar because I said I was live today, but I'm actually in California. And I'm sorry, I'm just serving my people. So I'm glad that I get to remain King Closer. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I think this is a video. I'm just ready to get back to my desk. See you guys tomorrow.
Hi, my name is Jerry Norton, and I'm looking for a small group of people to join a mentoring program called Titanium University. Titanium is the most actionable, results-driven coaching program in real estate today, and it's designed to help you do one thing: close wholesale deals virtually, anywhere in the US, in your underwear at the kitchen table from the comfort of your own home. The catch is, we only accept a limited number of people into Titanium, and many of those spots have already been taken. If accepted, you'll learn how to naturally talk to sellers and lock up contracts on the phone using the legendary 5-step King Closers formula. You'll master how to lock up profitable deals on the spot using the web formula, and you'll become a pro at finding cash buyers for your deals in all 50 states. Basically, Titanium University has one objective and only one objective: to turn you into a wholesaling machine that prints money every month. Now, if you have any other goal, this is not for you. As a member of Titanium University, you'll join a thriving private community of active, passionate wholesalers who network together. They do deals together, and they grow together. You'll be part of daily implementation calls focused on sales, lead generation, dispositions, and more. Plus, you'll get direct training, coaching, and feedback from the best experts in the game. Basically, everything you need to be hyper successful at virtual wholesaling. Now, if you've heard of my Fast Track Partner and Mentor program, you might be wondering why I'm talking about Titanium University. Well, one of the secrets to success in business is partnering with other successful people. In real estate, that often means partnering with other wholesalers, investors, or lenders. The right strategic partnerships can help you 10x your business, and as the owner of a real estate education and software company, it's no different. That's why, after much consideration, I've decided to partner with the best wholesaling coach in the industry right now, my good friend RJ Bates. Now, if you don't know RJ, he's the top wholesale closer in the country. I know because I've been doing live seller calls with RJ on YouTube for years, and no one is better. He wins every seller competition he enters, earning the title as the King Closer. In fact, RJ is so good that he has closed over 2,000 deals in all 50 states, and he even closed 125 contracts in 50 days. Long story short, RJ doesn't just talk the talk, he walks the walk. Like me, he's in the trenches doing deals every single day. Titanium University is the best coaching program in the industry because it's based on real-world experience and what's working right now, not what worked 5 years ago or even a year ago. The reason why I'm partnering with RJ and Titanium University is because I can't be all things to all people. I'm busy doing deals, making content, and building my software and other companies, and I'm trying to spend more time on my farm in East Tennessee with my wife, 10 kids, and now my first grandchild. So when it comes to high-level coaching, I've decided to leverage the best of the best, and that's Titanium University and RJ's amazing team. Look, I'm all about family, but you need a real estate family too. My real estate family is the Titanium community, and that should be your real estate family too. But like I said, spots in Titanium University are limited, and they're filling up fast. If you're watching this video, then spots are still available, but you need to apply right now. Below this video, there's a calendar to book a call with RJ's team. On that call, they'll tell you more about the program and if you qualify and how to get enrolled. Book that call now while spots are still available. Titanium is the real deal, but come ready to work. RJ has a ton of energy and will expect you to show up with all you've got. Right now, you have a chance to work with someone at the top of their game. I suggest you take that chance. With that said, let me hand it off to RJ so you can hear from the man himself.
Hey guys, RJ Bates III here. And listen, Jerry just told you about me, but let me show you why he's sending you my way. 2,500 plus deals closed in all 50 states. It's not theory. You can watch hundreds of my live seller calls on YouTube, including me locking up 125 contracts in 50 days, all documented live. I've won back-to-back Closers Olympics championships, as well as several other closing competitions. But here's what matters to you. Student results. Ben Frost, $500,000 in assignments in 60 days after joining TU. Multiple students doing their first six-figure years. Several people have closed $10,000 on day one. Another wholesaler, 6 months, struggling, joined us, 3 deals funded in 40 days, with 3 more closing soon. I don't share this to brag. I share it because Jerry doesn't partner with just anyone, and neither should you. Here's what I'm promising you if you join Titanium University. I'm going to give you the blueprint to build a wildly profitable wholesaling machine. And when I say machine, I mean a system where you put $1 in and get $8 to $10 out every single time. The 3 skills: how to talk to motivated sellers every day and get them to want to work with you. How to lock up contracts at prices end buyers will actually pay using the closers formula and the web formula. And how to sell those deals anywhere in the country. And here's the best part. You're doing all of this virtually. No visiting the properties, no driving for dollars, and no door knocking. We don't cold call, we don't do cold texting, none of that obnoxious nonsense that wastes your time. You're closing deals from your kitchen table in all 50 states, just like Jerry said. I'm not promising you'll make 6 figures in 30 days. I'm not promising you'll get rich quick. What I am promising is if you show up, do the work, and implement what we teach, you'll close more deals at higher assignment fees than you ever have before. We're going to help you build a machine, not a hustle, but an absolute machine. Now, the overcomplication problem that we have in this industry is, here's what I see happening out there, or people are overcomplicating this business. They think they need 17 different software tools or some crazy complicated funnel, the perfect CRM or the perfect script. And they're paralyzed, analysis paralysis, never actually doing anything. Now, maybe that's not you. Maybe you're actually taking action, but you're hanging up from seller calls thinking, I just blew that lead. You sound like every other we buy houses person they've talked to. You're fumbling through objections and reading from scripts that sound robotic. Sellers say, I'll think about it, and you know they're never going to call you back. You're getting contracts signed, but you can't sell them because you're comping and underwriting wrong. You're spending money on leads, but can't convert them. You're stuck doing deals in just your local market because you don't know how to go virtual. Or you're burning yourself out with cold calling, door knocking, and all of that outdated garbage. Here's the truth. This business is actually simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. There's really only 3 things you need to do. Talk to sellers, lock up deals, and sell those deals. But most wholesalers lose more deals in the conversation than they ever do in the numbers. And they're doing it all alone, trying to figure everything out by themselves. And I get it. I've been there. Every wholesaler has. The difference is most people keep making the same mistakes because no one's actually showing them what to do differently. Well, here's how we fix that problem. Inside of Titanium University, here's what happens every single day. First, you're going to get on the daily implementation calls with myself and my team. Not weekly, not monthly, but daily. You bring your actual deals, your actual seller calls, and your actual problems,
and we solve them together in real time. I'll listen to your seller calls and break down exactly what you did wrong and what to say instead. You'll submit properties through our comp review portal and get expert feedback before making an offer. You're getting the exact system that we use here at Titanium Investments to close those 2,500 plus deals. The 5-step King Closers formula. It's not a script. There's no manipulation games, just authentic conversation that builds trust. The wherein buyers buy formula, our unorthodox way to comp and underwrite so you know your deals will sell. You get our DISPO formula, how we sell deals in all 50 states. And plus you'll get all of our contracts, templates, resources, everything we use in our business. You just swipe and deploy. But the community, here's what might be the most valuable part of Titanium University. You're joining a community of 800 plus who are actually doing deals, not just talking about them, not asking beginner questions, actually closing contracts every single day. These are people doing deals in every single state in the country, which means when you lock up a deal in Florida, Texas, Ohio, wherever, there's someone inside of the community who has buyers there. You'll network, partner on deals together, JV together, grow together. People are literally doing deals with each other inside of TU. It's not just education. It's a real estate family that's actually building businesses together. Here's the difference between Titanium and every other program. This isn't a course. It's not 47 modules to watch alone in your basement. This is execution. We work with you until you get results. We don't disappear after you pay. We stick with you through every challenge. Now, there is an investment, but it's less than 1/3 of the average nationwide assignment fee. And yes, we do have payment plans available. So if you think lifetime access to myself, Cassie, and our entire team can help you close even one more deal, the math makes sense. So here's what I want you to imagine. 90 days from now, you're waking up to text notifications on your phone. You've got contracts signed and deals closing. Sellers aren't just accepting your price. The deals are actually moving. You hop on a seller call at your kitchen table, still in your underwear if you want, and you're not nervous. You're not fumbling. You know exactly what to say because you've practiced this with me dozens of times. You lock up the deal. You run it through the web formula. You know it's going to sell. You post it in the Titanium community, and someone raises their hand to JV with you and sell the deal. The deal closes, and you make $10,000, $15,000, $20,000. That's not a one-time thing anymore. That's your system. Leads coming in, seller conversations happening, deals closing, cash flowing every single month. You're not chasing deals anymore. You're running a machine. You're doing this from anywhere, your house, a coffee shop, on vacation. Virtual wholesaling, exactly how Jerry described it. And you're part of a community of 700, 800 plus people doing the exact same thing, supporting each other, celebrating wins together. Maybe you're even partnering with other members on deals and markets you've never even seen before. That's what we're building inside of Titanium University. Not just deals, but it's a system that prints money every month. And look, I know what you're thinking. Does this actually work? Well, let me tell you about some of our members. Hyro quit his job and has made a couple $100,000 in assignments since joining. Chance has done over $200,000 in assignments, including an $80,000 deal. And we've had countless members do their first deals inside of Titanium. The partnerships happening inside of this community are insane. People are JVing together, doing deals together, building actual businesses together. These aren't fake screenshots. These are real people in the community celebrating wins every single day. And you see that hashtag conquered? That's what our members post when they close deals. and it happens every single day. Now look, we only accept 20 to 30 people per class, and we are selective. If you're watching this, spots are still available, but not for long. So click the button below and book a call with my team. And they'll tell you more about the program, answer your questions, and if you qualify, you'll find out how to get enrolled. Jerry said I'm the real deal. He's right. But you need to come ready to work. If you want to sit on the sidelines, keep doing what you're doing. But if you're ready to build a real wholesaling business with people who have already done it, book that call now. Let's get to work.
Baby, I am so fired up, man. I just got off of one of the greatest coaching calls I've ever had. And here's what I want to ask you guys. How much would you pay to be able to pick the phone up, look at your CRM, call any lead that you choose, and get on the phone with a seller live with myself and Jerry Norton in your back pocket, sitting there listening to both you and the seller, and have us coach you on what to do with that seller call in the chat. And then after the call, have us coach you on your process and what you did well and what you need to improve on. How much would that be worth to you? Now, the question is, how much would that be worth to you if it was one of the small, little, tiny things that you were getting in a much larger program where you could get those kind of coaching calls every single day? That's what Titanium University is. Now, what I'm going to show you here is the first live seller call review that Jerry and I did together inside of Titanium University's implementation call. So this was one of 4 calls that we reviewed in a 2.5-hour coaching call. And these implementation calls go on every single day, Monday through Friday. They're run by either myself, Cassie, Nick, Jerry. It doesn't matter. We're coming in and we're constantly coaching and providing you on how you can implement immediately inside of your wholesaling business so you can start making money and improve your skill sets. Now, I wanted to share this, guys, with you guys so you could see how this process actually went down. Now, what we did was we asked who wanted to volunteer to call sellers live. And a bunch of people raised their hand. I picked the first 3. I said, all right, boys, start placing the dials. KP was the first person that got a seller to answer the phone. And at that point in time, we allowed KP to go in, have his live seller call. Jerry Norton and I were in the chat, coaching him up, comping the deal ourselves, telling him where the numbers need to be, kind of helping him through the process, navigate it. Now, KP's newer in this, right? He's been with us a couple of months, but this is like his first opportunity to really showcase what he's learned. And he has myself and Jerry Norton in his back corner, helping him along the way. And then afterwards, giving him the feedback that you guys are going to see. So I wanted to show this to you so you could see the level of coaching that you receive inside of Titanium University. So my question to you now, as you watch this, think to yourself, how much would this be worth for you to have in your corner at all times? If you're interested in joining Titanium University, there's a link right down below. Click that, book a call with our team, and get your ass inside of TU. What are you doing?
Yeah. Hey, Lois. My name is KP. I'm actually.
KP, you're muted.
Are you still looking to sell that property?
Yes, but we're trying to finish that other side before I sell it. But yes, I am looking to sell it.
Okay, you are looking to sell it. And when you say the other side, do you mean the other side of the house, or is it a duplex?
It's a duplex.
It's a
duplex.
Okay.
1844 grease fire back in March.
Okay. And then what is the asking price that you're looking for on the duplex?
283.
283 for it. Okay. And then to go back to the grease fire, did you guys fix it up or is it still in that same condition?
No, it's being fixed up through the insurance. It's being fixed up. We finished everything, and they just put the light meter back on last week. So we're waiting for our electrician to come and hook up something that has to be done since the Georgia Power brought the meter back.
Okay.
You know,
And then are you guys living on one side of the duplex?
one side tenant, and yeah. If you're facing the duplex, the 8342 is occupied. Now, it does need some work. It's gonna need some work on that side, and it's 2 bedrooms, 1.5 baths.
Okay. And then how much is the tenant paying per month?
Well, she's on month to month, and I told her once we get that other side, she'll be paying 1,200.
1,200. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I'm just kind of curious why you guys are even thinking about selling the duplex right now. Is it due to the grease fire?
What?
I was just curious why you guys are considering selling the duplex.
Because I have several properties.
Okay. And do you have several properties in the area?
It's just that when I originally bought it, I bought the duplex for my grandchildren. And that's why the rent is so cheap, but they're not living up to their standards and doing what they need to do as far as paying the rent, keeping my property up and all of that, and it's causing me more to, you know what I'm saying, than it's worth.
Right. No, that sounds like a lot right now. I said it sounds like a lot of work that you have to deal with the duplex and all, the tenant side of it right now.
They're your grandchildren, and then having to put them out and this and that. So I figured the best way is to go on and liquidate it.
Okay. No, that totally makes sense. Right. So could you tell me a little bit about the condition of one of the sides, the fire side?
It's new.
Okay, so
Ceilings in the dining area, kitchen area, new paint throughout, new flooring throughout. The only thing that's not going to be brand new is the bathtub. They're going to refurbish the bathtub, but it will have new toilets, new vanity, and everything in the bathroom.
okay, great. And then on the other side with the tenant, I know.
Yeah, everything has been done. They just got to put the new cabinets in. The new cabinets have to go in, and the countertop. But it has been painted there, all of that, and they started the flooring. So it's just going to be the new countertops has to go in, and I think that's it.
Okay. And how's the HVAC look on that side?
I think that's the side that HVAC was replaced. I'll have to talk to the young man that did it and to find out if he put a new part on it or if he had replaced it. I can't remember. But if it was like over a year or two ago.
Okay.
It's been since I've had it.
Okay,
But
great.
just know the both sides now have been rewired, but the 8342, the one with the 1.5 bath, that was rewired 2 years ago.
Right.
And the flooring was done about 3 years ago, but that tenant had a dog.
Right.
Okay. So like I said, it'll need some paint. It'll need basically just cosmetic over there, painting, new flooring, the bathroom, tub, everything, all of that was new, put in 2000, about 4 years ago. I've owned the property over 5, and I put it in a year after.
Okay.
No. That's been 5 years. It was put in maybe like a month. He wasn't in there for maybe over a month, and we put the new freshly painted flooring, everything went in because there was another tenant living there when I bought it from the other people.
Okay. So, I mean, obviously, it seems that you definitely need to sell this property. Is there a certain timeline that you want to achieve this by?
I don't have a certain time limit, whenever.
Okay. Well, I'm definitely interested in the property, and let me ask you, how long is the tenant stayed there? I know you said it's month to month.
They believed before then. They've been there 5 years.
5 years? Oh, wow. Okay.
And she's living with her aunt. That was my granddaughter. She's living with her auntie. But she was there when we bought that property. We bought, like I said, I bought it for them.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Have a place to live that I thought they would, both have, I would not have to worry about them. And that all they needed to do was pay their rent.
Okay. No, it makes sense. I mean, that's very nice of you.
Yeah. And they started off well, was good, and then it just, fizzled throughout the years.
Okay. And then I'm just curious, like, why are you looking for a cash offer from an investor? Have you considered going on the market, or is it time is the essence right now?
No, I'm going to put it on the market because I am a realtor, so I don't have no problem with putting it on the market.
Okay, okay. Well, I'm also a real estate agent as well. Go ahead.
Yeah. It's just that I guess you all be looking up properties or calling back and forth and asking if you're interested in selling your property, and I've been saying yes or whatever like that.
Right.
But no, I've been soliciting investors.
Right. Well, I mean, as a realtor, you kind of know with the market where it is right now. It's going to take a few months and to even get that top dollar. Right. And so, I mean, I'm trying to solve this problem for you, right? I'm an investor, I have cash. I'm interested in the property, and I'm just trying to see the 283 price. How'd you come up with that with all the damage that we have on one of the sides?
I came up with that price. I had my broker to assist me in there, and he said that's what they're going for, a little more than that over there.
Okay.
So he said I was asking was not unreasonable.
Okay. Okay.
Just make sure I was, to the price or whatever, There's a little negotiating, but I'm not going to be lowball because I don't have to sell it. I can still put them out and rent it myself.
Right, right.
And rent it out,
Yeah, so I'm obviously from my shoes, right? I'm an investor. I'm just trying to see where it would work for me, right? So you have 1,200 on one side. Are you confident that I can get 1,200 on the other side?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're an investor, and all I can talk to my broker and ask them what a 2-bedroom, 1 bath going for, but I know they're going over $1,100 a month.
Right.
2 bedrooms, that 8344, the Burnside has 2 bedrooms and 1 bath. The one that the people are living in is 2 bedrooms, 1.5 baths.
Okay. Okay. What's the square footage on each side?
It's easy for you to convert that one that has a half bath. We thought about it, we just didn't do it at the time. But we thought about it, and if we keep it, we are going to turn it into 2 bedrooms and 2 baths because there's a closet that's in the living room, and that closet backs up to the bathroom where all you got to do is hook up the plumbing. It backs up to that full bath, and you just hook up the plumbing and open the wall on the other side, and make it like a shower. It can be a shower, and it still will be a full bath.
Right. Okay. Okay. Well, that's going to add more to my rehab budget, right? If I do all that. So let me see here.
What we're going to do,
Right.
So then we'll get more than 1,200 for 2 bedroom, 2 full bath.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give me a second. Let me run some numbers. I mean, I'll be honest, I just think that 283 price is too high with all the rehab I'm gonna have to do to make it like market ready to get the market rent.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's like nowhere there's no way I can pay anywhere near that price. I mean, I can buy it as is, handle to tenant, close on your timeline, but I'm gonna need a discount.
What are we talking about?
All right, so let me run some numbers here. Give me 1 second. Let me actually give me 1 second.
Well, before I take any offer on it, I would want you to see both sides anyway. I don't like blind offers.
Okay. I hear you on that. Give me 1 second to just run some numbers.
That's fine.
I'll be honest, guys, I'm really lost right now.
Okay, real quick. You're doing great. All right. You're not going to close this. This is a wrap. All right. This is way far off on price. But what you need to leverage this call for is not you making an offer.
Okay.
You need to leverage this call on getting her to tell you what you should pay as an investor. She is a professional investor. She is a realtor. She knows where this needs to be, right? So what could this property be worth when it's fixed up? Probably the low 300s. She's telling you it needs a minimum of $75,000 to $100,000 of work, and then you want to make profit.
Right.
So have her tell you what those numbers are. You don't tell her.
Okay. Thanks. Okay, so this is what I'm looking at. I think we can both agree when everything is fixed up, both sides, that this property is worth in the low 300s. Is that accurate?
That's accurate.
Okay. And then for the repairs, I'm looking at around 75,000. Does that sound accurate?
No, because what are you gonna be repairing for 75,000?
Well, I'm gonna be doing, first of all, you asked me, we talked about converting one of the bathrooms, right? That's a cost. I have to fix up the cosmetics on one of the sides, and then I still have to deal with the fire side.
Outside of it, if it's moving ready.
The fire side is moving ready? Okay, okay. Well, okay. So,
Yeah, it's been totally redone.
so what are you seeing as on, so $0 on one side of the duplex?
What about it? You know, like I said, we said we deal with it once he finished that flooring.
Okay.
You know? Then I was gonna put it on the market and let investors or buyers come and look at it.
Okay. So what do you think is the rehab budget?
I think it's over $20,000. You know, because you're just going to be going in with flooring, you're going to be going in doing flooring, like I said, and painting. Painting, I've already bought a new refrigerator. You'll need a brand new stove, but I just bought the new refrigerator 2 months ago.
Right. I mean, I'm not worried about the appliances, just the rehab.
I never replaced the cabinets. We gave the cabinets a facelift, so you might want to put new cabinets in that side. You know, new cabinets. Change the flooring, even though it had new flooring, change the flooring, paint it. And get rid of the carpet because there was new carpet in there. I told you he had a dog. So, that I would just say carpet, your flooring. It was carpet in the bedroom, it was flooring in the hallway, it was a ceramic floor towel in the bathroom, and that's in good condition, just probably needs cleaning. And the bathroom had a new sink, new toilet, new tub. Everything was new in that bathroom. And the sink is still in good condition.
Okay.
You might want to replace the toilet, but the sink is fine. And the countertops.
Okay. So let's say it is 20K in rehab, right? All right, and we're in the low 300s for the ARV. I have holding costs, I have closing costs. Like 283 just won't work. I mean, I'm not gonna make anything. I'm actually gonna lose tens of thousands of dollars.
Oh, yeah.
No. Okay. Right. So,
If you're still interested, we'll call me, or I'll call you, give me your number, and then you come over and get.
yeah, so let me tell you where I am. So, dang, she hung up on me like that. Okay.
She hung up?
Yeah.
Listen, you did great, Jerry.
Yeah. Yeah, great. So a couple things that stick out to me right away, KP, is a little robotic. Okay, you're pretty monotone. It's easy to get that way when you're on the phone all day long. You're just sort of like right to business, but you don't want to sound robotic. You need to warm up to her a bit. I think you need to do some fluctuations. When you watch RJ and I, we're always trying to find some humor there or some, feel some. I heard you say one thing. Oh, that must be frustrating. Really to get motivation to come out and for people to feel like they can trust you, they need to feel like you're empathizing with their situation. Like, man, that must be tough. Oh man, having a fire happen, that's got to be frustrating. Or, you know, what's it like with that tenant? Is that I just find some way to connect with her on some pain or some humor or something along those lines. And then one thing that I like to do right out of the gate is when they give that number, very quickly you can look at the Zillow and know if they're retail. And if I don't address it immediately, now I'm playing catch up on trying to get them to rethink the price they're asking. Right. Because now what you're doing is you're leading them along that maybe 283 is a good number. So when you say, okay, no problem, tell me about the condition, blah, 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 you're sort of giving her hope that her number is realistic or maybe will happen. And right. I like to immediately be like, 283, wow, where are you getting that number? You know, and it's sort of like instantly putting doubt in her head that you're not even playing this game. Like, we're not even if we're going to keep talking here, we need to get real without being rude, or, you know, you want to find a way to be like, wow, 283. I'm looking at a comp right here on 123 Main that sold for 309, and this thing looks fixed up. I'm sure you need some work. Like, do you know why we're talking right now? Do you understand? I mean, you're an investor, I'm an investor, you know, so where I don't want to go is I don't want to deep dive condition, because condition, unless I'm trying to buy time, but usually condition is giving false hope. It's irrelevant. It's not really helping you get to where you want to be. It's sort of like what we do when we don't know what else to do. I see a lot of people use condition as just a stall tactic. Like, crap, what do I do now? Tell me a little bit about the furnace. You know, how old is the roof? And then what's happening is we're sort of moving away from where we really want to be, which is like, look, I'm here to help you, but we need to be real about what we're talking about here.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think just to add to that, I think that is what I was doing. I was stalling, asking about HVAC. I think
yeah, I get it. I do it too, where you're like, oh crap, now what do I do? Tell me about because, you know, and sometimes it's good if you're a little stuck, or you're like, man, I don't know if this is a deal. Where do I go from here? Then fine, do it. Use it as a stall tactic. Mm-hmm. But when I hear 283 and the Zillow's 250, I'm without even doing any comping on value on ARVs or anything, I'm instantly like, okay, we need to have a real heart to heart now about what's going on here. And that's where sometimes you'll even say 283. Wow, I'm looking at the Zillow. The Zillow's 250 and you're asking 283. I'm an investor. Why don't you just list it with a real estate agent if you're trying to get 283? And now I'm like right away hammering, like, wait a minute, we're not even on the same page here. Why are we talking?
Right.
Yeah. And going back to what Jerry was talking about there with the condition, for everyone that's been here for any period of time, I absolutely despise when we start talking. I call it the machine gun method, where it's like the age of the roof and the HVAC and the boiler, and talk to me about windows. And it's like, brother, we just make assumptions. Like,
assume it needs a bunch of work.
2,000 square feet, 75K. Both me and Jerry said it, 75K.
Yeah.
I mean, run the numbers based off of that. If we get anywhere close to that being an offer that she would accept, then we're playing ball, right?
Yes.
We're out.
Because it could be 100, it could be 125, it could be 50, but 75, no matter what she tells us, it ain't going to be 20, it's going to be 75. Both those units are going to need carpet and paint, a bunch of stuff fixed, blah, blah, blah. The outside of the building looks a little beat up. You know, like if you're, like RJ said, if 75 is a reasonable number and then you run your formula and you're still $150,000 off, who cares if your condition is 25, 50, 70, it doesn't matter anymore because you're so far off anyway.
Right. We're not even in the same ballpark. So this is what's important, KP, right? When we ask our first three questions, do you want to sell? Yes. What's the price? 280. I thought she said 280, but you said 283. So 283. Okay, we got the price. Is that the right price or the wrong price? Right? We refer to it as the quick comp, right? You know, right out of the gates, incorrect price. All right, so that's important. 2, what's the motivation? This is where you made a mistake. You didn't get enough on the motivation, right? We actually never really knew how deep the motivation was And there was a couple of things that happened when you were trying to find out the motivation. So I really want you to work on this. One, during your questions, you were leading. You would ask the question and then try to give her the answer after the question. You were like, so why are you looking to sell? Is it because of the grease fire? You gave her an answer. You gave her an easy out, which was like, yeah, it's because of the grease fire.
Right.
What if it wasn't? Right? So don't leave.
She even said, RJ, she even said, well, I have several properties to sell. And then you were like, okay, and moved on, rather than like, wait a minute, I don't really know yet why.
That's the next point I had. Assuming with your responses, this is a big one, KP, and this is something, when someone answers a question, do not give them the free out by saying, I understand what that means. When she said, I have several properties, you said, okay. My response would have been, what does that mean? You have several properties? I have several properties. I'm not wanting to fire sell one over here. Why? That's not a motivation. What does that mean? She didn't want to tell you something. What it could have meant was, and again, now we have to make this assumption because we don't know the answer. What if the answer was, I have several properties? And then she stopped herself and you said, what does that mean? She says, well, there's one over here that needs work. So I need to sell one so I can have cash so I can fix that one up. How much cash do you need? I need 40K. How much do you owe on this one? I owe 150. So really you need 190 from this to fix your problem. Now that's just making a lot of assumptions, right? But that happens over and over and over again when you ask the right questions.
And don't forget, KP, always circle back when someone says I have several properties. Always circle back to that, because well, you could be saying to her, look, are you looking to sell any of these other properties you have? Would love to take a look at anything else you got.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're like, okay, well, actually I've got this other one over here that I would let go for nothing. You know, you don't know. So you always want to make sure you circle back when someone says they have several properties.
I'm selling the duplex because I already fixed this one side up so I could get full retail, because this one over here needs a ton of work and I need cash for it. Well, I'm an investor. I don't want to buy the one you already fixed up. Can I buy the dump over there?
Right.
And that could have changed it. So there was just little moments like that. But I'm going back to this, what the key focuses are: don't lead with your questions. Don't assume you know what they're saying when they respond. Dive deeper. She gave you free questions. I have several properties. What does that mean? Okay. Everyone wants to know how to ask open-ended questions. That's how you ask them. Don't assume you understood what she just said. Keep asking. And then I really want you to focus on what seller bucket and what seller avatar. The seller bucket on this one was incorrect price, possibly motivated. Okay. We didn't dive deep enough, but I felt like she was motivated. And then the seller avatar on this one was she was a professional investor, which in my opinion is the easiest seller to come down on price when you're dealing with.
Yes.
Because you can just hammer them with the numbers. What is this going to be worth? You know what it's going to be worth. How much work's going to be put into it? And when you asked her that and you said, I'm assuming 70, see, you should have done it through questions and you did it with statements, but we were too far in. You should have asked her, what is this going to be worth? How much work do I have to put in? Assume their math is correct. Don't argue. You never want to argue, okay? So she says 350. All right, 350. How much work? 20 grand. Okay. So if I do 350 and 20 grand and I pay you 280, I'm negative 25 grand the moment I buy this. So why would I do 280? You just told me there's no way in the world. And that's assuming your math is correct. So now let's talk about what I would actually need to pay if I were an investor. And then that's when you get them to realize, for an investor to buy this, no matter what method she does, this way, listing it on the MLS, anyway, she's going to have to come down on price. So those are a couple of things that you could have done. I agree with Jerry's feedback, a little bit more energy. But, bro, this is, hey, kudos to you, man.
Yeah, good job. I would add, RJ, when I get a tired landlord, or what RJ called a professional investor, I tend to change my tune entirely because they should know better, and you can have a heart to heart and you can challenge a little bit. Now do it in a good way. Like don't be combative, but like don't be afraid to question their numbers, and because they're investors too. She should know better. Right. And so you can be a little bit more aggressive, I think is the right word. I'm
Yes.
really, that's why tired landlords are my favorite type of seller, motivated seller, because you can be a little aggressive. You can say things like comps or value, or, look, you understand how holding costs work, don't you? Because they know those things. So you can be a little bit more aggressive.
Greatest question you can ever ask the professional investor. Would you buy this? Would you buy this at 280? And why? How would you make your money?
Yeah.
Because make them educate you. This goes back to Trisha the other day when I said, Trisha, sometimes you need to educate the seller. Sometimes they need to educate you. Let them educate you first on the numbers. They know more about this than we do. And then you make your moves after that. But overall, but I will say, man, this is the first time I've heard you on the phones. I think you have natural talent there.
Yeah.
You did a really good job for the most part. There's just subtle little things there. So great job, man.
Yeah, I appreciate the opportunity from both of y'all.
All right, today we're going to be breaking down my 5 steps of the evolution of you as a closer. Now, I'm going to be giving you some homework on today's video. What I want you to do is at the end of this video, comment below on what step you think you currently are as a closer and what you're going to be working on moving forward so you can move to the next step. Now, obviously, if this is evolution, if you're step 1, that means you're at the beginning. If you're at step 5, that means you have mastered closing. All right, so step number 1, the evolution of a closer, is the script reader. Okay, this is someone who has a script and they do not break outside the script. They don't know what to say. This is normally when you're brand new and you're nervous, right? You're just starting to get reps in. And so the conversations sound like this if you're following the King Closers formula. Hey, this is RJ Bates calling about 123 Main Street. Looked like you filled out a form on my website saying that you were interested in selling that property. Is that correct? Awesome. How much are you looking to get for it? Well, tell me a little bit about what you got going on. If I were to cover all of the closing costs and there's no realtor commissions, what's the best price you could do for me? Well, I don't think that price is going to work out for me. So I guess I'll just move you to dead and I'll call the next seller. Now, by all definitions, you checked off all the boxes on the formula. But that's not really what we want those conversations to sound like, right? These are the generic questions that you should be asking, but you're not breaking outside of the script or the formula. Now, there's many scripts out there, and you might be using a different one. Probably something along the lines of tell me a little bit about the condition, what's your timeline, what's the occupancy of the property. But the reality of it is you're not listening and reacting inside the conversation. You're literally just reading the script that's in front of you. And because of that, you really struggle identifying the seller's true motivation, getting the price as discounted as you need it. And you're really probably struggling to close deals. Everybody, including myself, starts at this level. There's no fault of your own. It just takes experience to learn how to move past this stage of the evolution of a closer. Step 2 is the confidence faker. Okay. This is someone that now does the majority of the talking during the conversation with the seller. This is someone that now starts to understand the process, and they're almost, because they've obtained knowledge, they want to kind of flex that during the seller conversation. So they really run over the seller, and the conversation is not about the seller. It's about all of this newfound knowledge that you have as a closer. And so they're really faking this level of confidence, trying to convince the seller that they are the solution, why they should want to sign a contract with them, really expressing all of the benefits of signing a contract with them instead of the competition. So the conversations, they still include the script, but instead of asking open-ended questions, what they're doing is they're responding with statements, right? It's not question-oriented. It's not coming from an inquisitive mind. It's coming from a fake confidence that you have that you're already making assumptions that you know what the seller needs and you're going to solve their problem. For example, I can close in 7 days. I can close in 14 days, Mr. Seller. That's one of the reasons why you should sign a contract with me instead of asking what's the seller's needs in regards to timeline. You're flexing. You're showing what you can do. And this leads to sellers not being heard. They don't feel like their needs are being put to the forefront. It's just a bunch of unfound confidence by the closer. This is one of the steps that could take a newer closer a long time to kind of graduate from, because you can find success at this level. What happens here is sometimes you'll start conversating, you'll start expressing this confidence that you have and explaining to the seller why you could be their solution. And sometimes you might be right. Whatever you start explaining how your process works might be what the seller needs, and you just got to stumble upon getting a signed contract. However, what I will say is the most common type of seller, the person that's going to give you an incorrect price, maybe has different levels of motivation. You're not going to identify that. So you are going to be missing out on quite a few signed contracts if you stay at level 2, the confidence faker. Level 3 is a pretty large step forward. And this is where I feel like people really start becoming a closer, and that is with the pattern breaker. What I mean by the pattern breaker is if you're following a script, there's kind of a pattern in which all of the conversations go. The pattern breaker starts listening better, starts asking better open-ended questions, and because of that, they can break the pattern in most conversations and sometimes not even talk about things that can be irrelevant, like timeline or finances or the occupancy, because they're going to receive that by the questions that they're asking. And so inside the conversations, they don't have to hit that bullet point checklist. This is where really good closers kind of live for a while, because they're feeling like, hey, this is where I'm really starting to see success. The pattern breaker is someone that does a lot more listening. The conversation is more like 80% seller, 20% closer. They're really understanding the seller's needs. And so when you listen to the conversations, maybe the introduction, the beginning will sound the same, but the end, the middle portion of this conversation will sound different. They're really going to be contingent upon how the seller is responding to you, what the seller is saying. Maybe there's a little bit of pushback with an aggressive seller from the closer. Maybe there will be a layer of empathy that is, given by the closer when there's an emotional motivation. It's really just dependent upon the seller, and they're reacting to that based off of the questions that are asked and the responses given from the seller. Now you're going to the next level, and you're going to have a new wave of contracts that you wouldn't have had if you were just a script reader or a confidence faker. The pattern breaker is where most people are if you've been in this business consistently for several months. Now you're starting to understand the reps are starting to really pay off, and you're learning the more that you can listen and the more that you can ask questions instead of statements, the further along these conversations will go. Now, step number 4, I think, is where people take a whole new step as a closer. This is where I would actually say I probably was in the 2023 50-50-50. Now, Jairo Rodriguez likes to say that was the prime of my career. Well, I'm here to beg to differ. I was still learning a lot And I think I have drastically improved since 2023. But step number 4 is the one-line assassin. This is someone that if you say the seller gives me this objection, they already have that one-liner on how to obliterate that objection. They know when the seller says this, here's my one-liner. And it's great. Now, the person that comes to mind when I think of a one-line assassin is Cesar Lacosta. Now, I love Cesar. I think Cesar is an excellent closer, and Cesar's goal moving forward for the next year is to get to the level where he can compete with me in a closing competition, which I love that goal. However, I have felt for a while now that Cesar has been a one-line assassin. Part of the reason why is because he does have really good one-liners, and they do work. And he knows if the seller says this, I rebuttal with this one line. And they do work and they're successful. However, there's a problem with the one-line assassin. It's still about you. It's not about the seller. It's still not getting the seller to say something in response and you knowing if I could get the seller to say this, now I'm going to be able to close. It's, I know when a seller gives me this objection, I've got this one-liner, how to overcome it, and then I'll react and respond. Now, the final layer, and the person that I think is the ultimate master closer, in which I've seen very few at this level, is step number 5, the deal whisper. And the reason why I'm calling it that is because this is where I'm really pushing Cesar to get to, where it's not so much about seller says this, and here's my one line. It's about if I can get the seller to say this, now I know the deal is going to close. So the one line, they can get you to get the seller to say a certain thing, and that can lead to you getting close. But I want to see Cesar's thought process to change, where he's more thinking about what the seller is saying and getting them to say certain things. Some people refer to it as a soft early verbal close, right? Are you still looking to sell this property? Are you in a position to sign that contract today if we can come to an agreement, right? Getting them to start saying certain things. However, I'm not big on that. I'm big on getting them to really express what their needs are. And I don't want to ask so directly. I want them to come out and say, if I could just get this, then I would be prepared to sign my contract. This is a whole nother layer of asking questions and getting responses from sellers that then lead to closes. The deal whisperer is someone that can literally look at a seller's motivation, look at the condition of the property, the information that we receive from an inbound PPL lead, start asking questions, and then can literally say, I'm about to close this deal or I'm not. This is the reason why I'm going to close this deal. That is an intuition that is second to none, that comes from experience. It comes from the reps of being on the phone. So no matter what level you are, all of this comes with time, comes with the opportunities that we have nowadays to talk to sellers that have already raised their hand and said, I have a property I want to sell. So no matter if you're a script reader, the confidence faker, the pattern breaker, the one-line assassin, or the deal whisperer, you still always have room to grow. Now, I personally think I've gotten to the point where I'm a deal whisperer. The reason why is because I've proven that time and time again, where I've said, I'm about to close this deal. I understand based off the seller's responses, I can close this. Now, what I want to know in the comments is, where are you and what are you going to do? What is the training and the work that you are going to put in to move up to the next level? And how will you know that you've made it to that next level as a closer? So, to my good friends Jairo and Cesar, thank you for always pushing me. Jairo, I saw your comment. I didn't respond to it in the TU group, but I saw it. And Cesar, I challenged you with this a couple of months ago during our one-on-one. I hope you watch this video today, and I can't wait to see you become a deal whisperer in 2026. All right, guys, that's our episode. Show me some love. Like today's video. We'll see you guys tomorrow.